Welcome to the Marvel Movie News. We are the Marvel Movie News, and we are talking about Doctor Strange today, and Spiderman, and Captain Marvel, and the Defenders, and Infinity War, and a lot of other stuff. Stay seated. We'll be right there soon.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Marvel Movie News.
Excelsior Dior, Merry Marvelites.
They heard everything. Of course
they did.
Live! We're live! This is live television. It's a verbal nip slip.
We are not perfect people.
Far from it.
We're perfect people.
We're perfect people.
Yeah.
I am the one that is imperfect.
No,
so why am I announcing the show?
You're perfect. It's just I will. Voice of Doom is not perfect.
Voice of Doom is perfect. You cannot say that about
No,
him.
Doom.
They would have heard nothing if you hadn't told them.
They heard everything.
Yes.
We are the Marvel Movie News, coming to you live from the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Oh, is that what we are?
That's where we're at today. We're at the Sanctum Sanctorum today, where we tell you all the news from all these studios and why you should be as excited as we are. Subscribe to us on iTunes at Marvel Movie News, or find us through the Popcorn Talk Network, YouTube/Popcorn Talk Network, or on their website, popcorntalknetwork.com. Please don't forget to subscribe to our show because it helps us come back to you and do a lot of cool stuff with you guys. So follow us on Twitter at Marvel News PTN, or on Facebook /Marvel News Show. Follow us and like us there. Talk to us. I think we're better at Twitter than we are at Facebook, but follow us on Facebook too. We try.
Yeah.
We try really hard. And guys, if you'll tweet a link out to our show with a message telling people about the live chat, Doom in the booth will retweet you.
Doom is here, and by the way, with my time manipulation powers as the voice of Doom, no one will know what happened at the beginning of the show.
People watching live.
Just
You guys get a special screening.
Never happened.
You guys get a special moment.
Except that now it's in this show also.
Now he has to undo that.
Oh man.
Doom.
But
Let's just start
also,
over.
Doom demands tweets.
Today we're joined. Well, first of all, let me say I'm Matt Key at the Matt Key. We've got Coy Jandreau at CoyJandreau. Scooby Bob. And we've got a Meredith Placco today.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's your Twitter? Remind everyone.
At mplaco. I was actually hoping we weren't even going to address that I had been gone for 2 months, that we were just going to be like, I'm Meredith.
casual
and
about
The
it.
live chat wasn't
She
happening.
was
Yeah,
she
they
was
weren't.
she was undercover
I
at
know.
a Hydra base.
I was.
Hashtag Placo is backo.
Placo is
Oh,
back.
nice.
I love it.
All about
I know,
it.
and I'm wearing green to support
Yeah,
my Hydra
full Hydra.
peeps.
Yeah,
I know.
full on Hydra. And we're joined by one of our favorite guests, Jack Conway.
Yay.
You paused. I think you forgot my name for a second.
No,
This
I
guy,
absolutely
friend of
didn't.
someone. Hi,
Yeah.
hi. I'm Jack Conway. I do a podcast about television in which my co-host Aaron Pruner and I get really drunk and we yell about TV. We also yell about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., just so you know. And that is actually on this evening. It's on Thursdays and then it goes live on Fridays, and it's called Punch Drunk TV. You can find us on Facebook at Punch Drunk TV.
Do you
Yes.
watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then do your podcast?
Yes,
Good, so you have a lot to yell about.
always.
Good.
Yeah.
And his
or,
name
or
also
just or
rhymes
just
with
sleep
back.
through. Yeah.
Which is true. Jack is back.
Jack
which
is
also
back.
rhymes.
Yeah, Jack-
Jack goes
Jack
black.
is back.
It's all a thing.
Alright.
Why
That's
isn't
how
that
that
my
goes.
theme song?
I don't know. It
Why
should
did that
be.
play when I
It
came
is
in?
your theme song.
Okay.
It's your theme song now.
Well, I'm going to call ahead and request it next time, or else I'm not coming on.
For all of you iTunes listeners who can't see us on our beautiful faces on the YouTube, you can
needs
find
to
it.
see
You
that.
can find our entire. I think they do, because we're some beautiful people. But you can find all of our stories and all the pictures that we're going to talk about today on geekgirlauthority.com. I've got an entire article that summarizes every last freaking thing we're going to talk about today. Which, by the way, we're doing a 90-minute spectacular today.
At
least.
We're going
Wow.
until about 3 o'clock
My
today.
God.
Feature length.
So
I'm
yeah,
so
feature
glad
length.
I have to go cut a voiceover after
Yeah,
this.
yeah, right.
I parked in the McDonald's drive-through next door. Is that going to be cool, or?
You just park in the drive-thru.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No one
that's
goes to
fine.
McDonald's.
Okay, cool.
Ever.
Like a
Alright.
billion hamburgers a
Self-respecting
day.
person.
I should be good then.
So yeah, but you can find all of his stuff at geekgirlauthority.com. Just go and look for the Marvel Movie News there. Next week we're hoping to have Doctor Strange super fan Holly Conrad.
I thought he was going to be.
I know,
Doctor
I got
Stranger
that,
done
yeah,
here.
I was like,
No,
holy
next week we
cow.
have
Calmly
actual
saying
Doctor
that.
Strange. What's
You
that?
wouldn't be able to calmly utter those words.
Yeah.
Like, next week we'll have Doctor Strange.
But technically,
Yeah.
Holly
Yeah.
Conrad is also Doctor Strange. I mean,
It's
if you
true.
look
She
up
is.
Holly Conrad right now on if you Google it, she's Doctor Strange.
She is
I mean,
like
yeah.
her
you-
costume is
You'll find you and her
amazing.
What I kind of want to
Yeah.
see is the battle of the Stranges. Like, I think you
We-
both should come in costume. I would like that.
I actually would love to do that.
That would make me very
Like I was actually thinking I would do that this week
I
because it's such a
expect
Doctor
it, to
Strange
be
show. But I kind of want to do that with her if
Yeah.
she's willing to like
would
wear
be
the
so
costume. So I was like,
cool.
oh, hold off.
It would
on
be
it.
so
strange.
cool.
That's so Wong.
Oh my God! Get out
Audience,
of here, Bo.
we get a Meredith get out.
Oh,
The tables
wow.
have turned.
Meredith get out. Also, just to let all of you know, like, if I'm scatting during the show, it means one of two things.
Doesn't mean
and
it.
not
don't think he
scatological.
knows.
You guys are so
I don't
gross.
think he
You guys
knows
are so
what
gross.
that
I
means.
do know. I
Do you watch
do.
nature shows?
I
know.
do know
Don't
what
you
it
watch
means.
German porn?
Oh my! No, I don't actually. I don't.
Scat in the eyes.
Oh, jeez. Stop it. Get out. If I'm excited or if it's like time to move
Then he
on.
starts scatting.
I know.
Oh my God, you guys are awful. All right, so
You should have seen
we
Kevin's
are.
chair, man, after that show. It's just
Stop it. Stop it, you guys. All right, so Coy, you've actually got our lead story today.
I do, guys. The only thing that happened this week, the biggest news we have, the reason we're here for 90 minutes is Deadpool.
You got scat on the brain. Deadpool.
You had one job.
Yeah, you had one job.
One
I got
job.
too excited about Deadpool. Deadpool 2, guys. It's official. Deadpool 2 is happening. And for the next 90 minutes, I'm just going to freak out about it.
all right.
Nothing
Deadpool
else.
2, man. I'm so excited for Deadpool
Guys,
2, man.
The dream is real.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yes.
Deadpool 2. Ryan Reynolds signed on. Did you see that MTV thing? MTV Movie Awards that was basically like what Deadpool dreams of?
Yeah.
No, I
There
didn't
was-
see
there was
that.
a
Oh,
giant-
there's
there
a
was a-
musical number. There was like 100 Deadpools.
There were
Yeah.
Deadpools on the walls, bouncing
Yeah.
down, dancing on
Oh
top
my
of buildings.
God.
Ryan Reynolds in the audience, and Ryan Reynolds written on a billboard. And I'm like, this actually looks like a panel from a comic that
Yeah.
Deadpool would dream of.
Missy Elliott
Wow.
singing.
The Salt and Pepper were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was incredible. So that was the dream
Oh
of
my
Deadpool.
God, I didn't even know that existed.
It's
I'm
so
gonna have to go
good.
look that up immediately.
You just need to become a better Deadpool fan, Matt.
I do.
You do.
That is fair.
That's, it's the plot of Deadpool 2.
Deadpool.
How stressed out is the marketing team, by the way? Do you think they're like, well, guys, you got to do
Yeah.
even better this time? They're like,
Well, and they just
there
cut to
is
that
no
MTV
better.
award, and they're like, well, we
Right,
made
yeah.
this dream
We made
sequence.
this.
Yeah.
How about that?
I think most of it comes from Ryan's head. It's
Yeah,
really,
that's-
It's
Yeah.
very
maybe not
possible.
that.
I feel like that was just his brain opened up and was on the floor.
I
He's
feel like they did that for Ryan. That
Yeah,
was
it
kind
was
of
like a
a
gift.
here you go.
you made us $1 billion. Look what you've dreamt of for 11 years.
Yeah.
His name, Dancing Deadpools.
How's Deadpool doing versus BVS? Still,
It's taking up. It's doing pretty good. Doing
still
pretty
doing
good.
Well, if you're
Pretty
looking
good.
at,
Pretty good.
spend versus return, it's
Oh,
just
spend versus
swinging
return.
it.
Yeah.
I'm just happy it did well. I have no comparisons to make.
Well, guys, you
That's
you
it.
all,
That's our show. Cool.
That's
Bye,
it.
everyone.
Thanks for coming in.
That's all we
I'm just great
needed.
being back.
You,
I'm going to repeat that for the next 90 minutes.
That's all we needed.
I just want to point out that I was able to not open the show with Doctor Strange. I was able to hold back.
Oh, right. We are
That's
talking
because
about
you've done
that.
6 other shows about Doctor Strange before that. So you've
More
been
like-
cheating
more
and
like
don't
60.
be cool
like
about it.
60
Yeah.
shows.
He's had
Yeah.
a real rough week of just.
Yeah.
Didn't she write, like, I was telling people were like, oh, where can we get Matt Key's reaction? I'm like, I actually think he wrote a dossier on Hello
did.
Giggles about his reaction to that trailer.
Well, I did a reaction trailer after Jimmy Kimmel, or a reaction video after Jimmy Kimmel. Screen Junkies had me on last week to talk about it. They had me on again this week. Then Kevin Smith had me on. That episode will be next week. That'll actually come out next Wednesday. So I've talked about Doctor Strange like 4 times.
So you're probably over it. You probably don't want to talk
Yeah,
about it
there's
anymore.
nothing else
I'm
to
good.
say.
So you guys
Call
can
it a
ta-
day.
you
Cool.
guys
Going
take
on.
it.
Look around the internet, you can find it.
Yeah.
But I did actually write a lot about stuff about Doctor Strange. If you're like, who is this guy? And we don't cover all the questions today, you can probably go find like one of my 27,000 articles on it.
Whoa.
Is that supposed to happen? Oh, it's an Amber
Oh.
Alert. Oh, boy.
Oh,
Amber
gosh.
Alert.
Okay.
Oh, we're getting
All
an
right.
Amber Alert.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
So anyway, we are going to move on to Doctor Strange.
Woo!
The trailer came out this week.
Did it?
Wow.
It came out on Tuesday night.
If you'd like
Yeah.
to see the trailer
Yeah.
for Doctor Strange, look at Matt Key's Facebook wall because 4,000 people sent it to him thinking maybe he hadn't found it. Like, have you seen this?
Like somehow he was in a
yeah.
coma. They're like,
Yeah.
wait him.
By the way, though, like even though I had so many people send it to me, I freaking love that.
No, and I'm sorry, not to make
love,
fun of people
like-
who do that. That's the best.
I
That means
lo- like-
you're the guy.
Like
Yeah.
I get so, like even if it did literally happen 100 times in an
Yeah.
hour, I'd be like, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, you thought of me.
You're the guy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like I
You
will
see,
watch
so
it
many
just for
people
you.
get salty about that, and Matt's like,
I
no,
love
I
it.
just
No,
want it. I want
it's like
more.
a cat bringing you a dead bird. You don't need it, but you appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thanks,
thank
bro.
you, Kat.
It means
thought
you were
of me.
thinking about you.
It's thoughtful.
Yeah.
And thank you. Thank you.
All the Spider-Man stuff I got when Civil War dropped, like
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
Captain America shit, I was like, oh, thanks, guys.
Because they know.
I have a question for you, Matt.
Yeah.
In one single word,
Oh,
how would you sum up your reaction to the Doctor Strange trailer?
that's a tall order from Matt Key. He can't order a
Unconscious.
drink in one word.
Unconscious.
Okay.
Okay.
You blacked out.
Wow. That's
I will.
okay.
I will say. Hear me out. I saw it at Jimmy Kimmel, my friend Damian Brewer, who's been on the show before.
That's an important thing to note, by
yeah.
the way. You weren't just sitting at home in your
Yeah.
boxers. Like,
Yeah.
you went to Jimmy Kimmel
There was
where
a reason
Benedict
I didn't-
Cumberbatch was there.
Yeah, there was a reason I didn't shoot like a reaction video. I would have done that. I actually, like, I've never considered doing that before, but I actually would have done it for this. But I was in, like, I couldn't even turn my phone on.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so like this, like, very literally, the moment I left that show, I looked at Brittany, I was like, all right, I need to record a reaction
Yeah.
right now. Like,
You were embargoed.
yeah, like,
sort
and I
of.
couldn't talk about it for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was driving me nuts. And I was like, I don't care. Get Katie Couric off the show. I don't care. Stop it. Just cut the show early. Stop. I just now noticed, it looks like Magneto's leaning forward on Apocalypse going like, what was that you were saying?
What's up, bro?
What was that?
He's doing-
Hell Hydra. Same time.
Nice. But like they started the show off with the Doctor Strange trailer, Jimmy Kimmel, and like they had like Benedict Cumberbatch video. He's like, here it is, I'm Benedict, and then they show the trailer. At the very end of the trailer, when it gets to Teach Me, I was like, keep it in, don't cry, don't fucking cry, don't. And like Brittany, the whole time, my fiance Brittany's like grabbing my knee, like, oh my god, like, because she could tell, like I was like, I was losing myself, like, yeah, you like, yeah.
Unconscious.
Unconscious is
Okay.
that like I couldn't. The movie can be the worst thing that's ever been made.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be
won't.
amazing. But that trailer was pitch perfect for what I've always looked for in a Doctor Strange film. And here, so let me throw this out. A lot of people are saying like they didn't like the trailer. I've heard this from more than a few people. They didn't like the trailer because it didn't show enough. They're like, well, we didn't see Doctor Strange in his cloak. Like
Yeah.
it was at the very,
Wait,
very
do we need
end.
to see
like,
everything
I don't
these
want that
days?
yet.
I know.
I don't exactly.
I feel like
The
Civil
movie's
War
still
we're seeing
7
too
months
much
away.
now. Yeah.
Well, think of the first Force Awakens trailer. It's
Yeah.
essentially that. You're getting
Yeah.
the notes, and you know what's coming.
You're getting
and
the
then
vibe.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you'll
I
get
just want to
another.
live in that world for 2 months, and I was.
Yeah, I guarantee you, like very quickly after Civil War comes
Yeah.
out, they're gonna be like, all right, here's the full trailer.
Oh yeah,
And
we'll see
it's-
way
was it-
too much.
And wasn't
Yeah.
it technically a teaser trailer?
Yeah, it is technically
Yeah,
a teaser.
that's
Like
the
it's a
first
minute and a
images
half.
we get.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
why-
People,
we're
oh
gonna
my
get
god,
a-
why do we need everything now?
we're gonna get a trailer, and it's gonna have a full minute more of like footage and all that. Like that's a lot. Like
Yeah.
if you think like a minute, that's not a lot. That's a lot. Like that's a lot of extra footage to add, unless they're just like, and here's a minute from one scene, like which they're
Yeah.
not gonna do.
Right.
So like I guarantee you, in the next trailer, we may not see a lot of Doctor Strange like hurling incantations and magic.
Yeah.
But we'll see enough to be like, okay, okay, I'm on board.
They also just wrapped
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
wrapped
Like,
a week
a
ago.
week ago.
Like-
So the fact they were that far in their CGI and stuff is amazing
Give
to
him
me.
some time. Also, I will say, Benedict Cumberbatch. That is the thing. The last three movie posters that he's been in.
Oh, yeah, Soldier's back. I heard that. I haven't seen that name, but I've heard
Imitation Game, Wrath of Khan, and now Doctor Strange.
But
it's about the back.
I actually wrote an article on why that poster is pitch perfect for the film, and it has
I
no.
had 3 pitch perfect jokes go through my head
Oh my
right then.
God. Of
course
Sorry,
you
go
did.
on. Go
Of course
on.
you
was
did.
awesome.
Doctor Strange with the cups. Anyway, go on.
No, because that trailer, the poster, you see it there. You have the seal of the Vishanti. You have this window of the worlds, the anomaly Rue, like looming over Doctor Strange. Like he's isolated. He's by himself. He's alone. He's right in the center of it. And there's like this sort of like weariness to him, and that is the character. Like he stands more or less completely by himself against all of these like cosmic level interdimensional threats. Like
Yeah.
like Captain America would see Dormammu and be like, I'm gonna throw my shield at him.
Yeah,
like,
no
what
one
do I-
knows.
Like, what do I do?
Well, they
Like,
call Strange. That's
Yeah.
what they
exactly,
say. Yeah.
exactly. Like Doctor Strange, like with the exception of like Baron Mordo, like some of the allies that he has, but even they really can't compare to what he can do. Like he stands alone, and it's like this weird, like sacrificial sort of like, this is what I have to do, and because of that, he doesn't like stand above humanity, but he has concerns that like no one else has. Like with the exception of talking to the Ancient One and maybe like Wong, no one else is gonna be like, oh yeah, no, Dormammu, bro. Like I get it. Like Tony Stark is gonna be like, well yeah, we got the Chitauri, and
Yeah.
Doctor Strange will be like, oh yeah, well I can Okay, they're gone. Can we please talk about like this Dormammu thing?
rabbits now.
See, and that's something I
exactly.
actually like about the new Doctor Strange comic is when he like interacts with Scarlet Witch and maybe some of the other mystics, is that you do get that you get that humanity with
Yeah.
him.
He has
though.
drinking buddies now.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
literally
that's
has a
so
drinking
bar.
awesome. Like the
Yeah.
bar with no doors. I think that's what I think.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
bar
God,
they
I
hang
love
out
that.
in.
Did you read all of X-Men this week where him and Beast team up?
Haven't read it
No.
yet.
I haven't read it yet either.
Beast runs into Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange is like, I'm busy doing Doctor Strange things. And Beast is like, bro, I got stuff to do. And he's like, no. And then for a second, Beast sees inside Doctor Strange's world, and he's just like, "Bang!"
He's like, never mind.
He can't even handle it.
And
So
this is Baby Beast, right? This
Yes,
is okay.
Beast.
So it's amazing
Yeah.
because you realize the scope of what Doctor Strange
Yeah.
deals with. He's like, bro, I got this stuff. And Beast is like, no, I'm more important. And he's like, I can't even see
okay.
this world.
I very literally cannot even
It's
handle
amazing.
this. Yeah.
I'm like, all right, so taking Stephen Strange aside, can we look at some of these other characters that were introduced in the trailer?
We can.
Okay.
We can.
Let's start with Tilda as Ancient One.
Can
Can we? Because first
like,
off,
my reaction.
yeah,
to
I want
her is,
I want reactions from everyone because I know this is the Matt
There we go.
Strange show, but I want to hear these guys.
There we go. I was excited about this, by the way. As soon as they said that she was cast as the Ancient One. Now, look, I don't have even a quarter of the love of Doctor Strange that Matt Key does. I love the new series, and I'm just now becoming a fan.
Same.
So there's not a lot they could have gotten wrong for me. You know, I wouldn't be mad at most of it.
Yeah.
But I just love Tilda Swinton, and casting her as any sort of like higher power or smarter person, or just Yoda, as you will, is perfect. It's a perfect choice. And she is sort of genderless, which I think makes it even cooler. But you had discussed before the show, there's already a little bit of backlash
There
because
is.
she's not Asian.
Yeah.
Because the Ancient One teaches ancient martial arts, Asian martial arts to Doctor Strange. Or rather, what is it? It's not Asian martial arts. That's not the word I want. It's mysticism.
mysticism.
Yeah.
I had to do this when I said mysticism, by the way. And in the comics is Asian, and I think that's definitely hot on the heels of the Daredevil issues that people are having, or rather the
Iron
Iron
Fist,
Fist
yeah.
issues, etc. So I get it. I get what they're saying. I think. I don't know. We got a girl instead.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's cool, but I
like,
also see your point.
I'm
so.
I'm very cognizant of, big films do have a diversity issue, but it's hard for me to be angry about this because I love Tilda Swinton, and maybe I'm being blinded by my love of Tilda Swinton, but I think she's just so fantastic for this role. I mean, we look at, I always go back to Orlando, the film Orlando, where she...
One of my favorite movies ever.
I thought you were like
Exactly.
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom would be great.
I thought you meant
No.
Orlando Jones.
No,
I was like,
no.
what an interesting
Amazing
choice.
soundtrack as well, by the
Where's
way.
this going?
No, I go.
Orlando's a
Yeah,
perfect movie.
And where we see Tilda really blend the lines between male and female, and we it was my first introduction really to her and her ability
too.
to cross that gender gap and what she's able to do as an actor. And when seeing her in this role, I don't think about racial casting. I don't even think about gender casting. To me, I think about she is the right person for this
Yeah.
role. Yes, there are times that I feel like, okay, maybe we don't need to cast a traditionally white person in this role, even though they are white in the comics. But for this particular one, I think Marvel had an idea and they wanted Tilda in this role, and I think that's. And I'm okay with that, but I feel like I'm going to get eviscerated on certain parts of the internet for me just saying that. But I'm just excited to see her in this role because I think she's going to rock it as the
Yeah,
Ancient
caveat,
One.
easy for us to say we're all white.
It's true.
Where it's four
It
white
is
people
very
discussing
true.
that we're not offended. So,
But then again, but as a woman, I'm also excited to see a woman in a
Yeah.
traditionally male role. So and we are seeing more African American and African in general roles expanded. Marvel does have a little bit of a blind side to Asian actors and Spanish actors. Let's see that change.
Time to fix that.
I'm not unaware of that, but I'm just excited to see Tilda Swinton rock something in a big film of this franchise level because she deserves it.
and transition on that, Baron Mordo in the comics
Is white,
a
so-
white dude.
Yeah.
And
Named Carl.
Yeah.
What's his full name? Do you remember?
Carl Mordo.
Carl
Yeah.
Mordo.
Yeah.
And Steven's
he's
actual last name is
amazing.
Strange.
Yeah.
They were destined to meet no matter what.
I know.
Yeah.
And think
Mordo
about
and Strange.
and wasn't
Attorneys-at-law.
Chiwetel one of the names up for Black Panther as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I was
Yes,
going to
he
say
was.
he was. So it's great
he
that
would've
they.
been
He
amazing.
can't be now.
And
Yeah.
I like Michael B. Jordan a lot for Panther as well. Now Creed director is doing Look at Black
I
Panther.
know.
I'm so excited for that all
Yeah.
of
Yes.
that because
Oh,
Creed's
gosh.
one of my favorite movies this year, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, like just hearing like Tilda Swinton's like dialogue throughout the
gosh.
entire
So
trailer,
good.
like
Yeah.
you don't understand, like you've been looking at life through a keyhole. Like it was like I bought her. Like I saw her. I was like, I had an immediate reaction of like, oh my god, Tilda Swinton looks amazing, and then
Yeah.
that was like a half second.
Yeah.
I was like, she's the Ancient One. Like
she's ethereal and she always has been.
Yeah.
If Kevin
Yeah.
Spacey showed up and was like, I'm going to teach you, you'd be like, oh, Kevin Spacey's going to be acting very hard in this. But like,
Yeah.
it's Tilda Swinton, it's like, all right, she's already half angel as far as I'm concerned. Like,
Yeah.
whatever she says is going to be wise, probably.
Yeah.
She's so
Yeah.
ethereal just as a person that as soon as she was cast, I
Yeah.
didn't have any idea of what it would be. I just knew it'd be good.
Yeah,
And then the
yeah, I
trailer
agree.
happened, and I was like, it's
Yeah,
gotta
and
work.
like when they announced the casting, I was like, oh yeah, well that makes sense. Yeah, like what? Like of course it's her. Like
Yeah.
how did I never think of that? Of course
And
it's her.
she goes, she shaves her head, you
Yeah.
know, and she's an actor who just immerses herself and she commits to
Yeah.
it. And that's, you know, I don't know, guys, I'm excited. Like I'm excited because of the new book. New book has really introduced me to the world of Doctor
Jason
Strange.
Aaron's run,
Yeah.
which is like I think maybe the 7th issue is coming out in the next
Okay.
week or two. It's so good. It is
Yeah.
so
It's
good.
absolutely amazing.
It is like go read. If you're like, where should I start with Doctor Strange? That's the perfect place.
I agreed. It's out on stands right now. And in fact, Comixology, not to plug them, but like I
Yeah.
use them, they just put out a deal today that the first 10 issues are half off if you type in Strange, I think, or
Oh,
Magic,
nice.
I think
Oh,
it is.
nice.
Go to their website, but it's Comixology.com. You can get them digitally for half off.
And even though I also am a Comixology subscriber, I will say Marvel Unlimited I think is doing a special this month.
Yeah,
for
they
like
are.
So for anyone wanting to get a Marvel comics and check out the Marvel Unlimited, I think they have like a really reduced like 1 month subscription.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
get in and read all the comics for a month.
And again, I was not. Matt Key has been trying to get me to read Doctor Strange for a
Mm-hmm.
very long time. I love The Oath. That's the one book I made sure you had read.
Yeah.
But other than that, he just wasn't my hero. But
Yeah.
the new series, in one issue, it's like a great pilot to a TV show. It lets you know what it's like to be Doctor Strange and how messed up that is, basically. And it really clicks the character, and I was on board immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, the
And
new book is
the biggest.
fantastic.
That's the biggest reason I've always loved him. Like
Yeah.
even though I never
never got
saw
it.
that, like even though I never saw that story in the comics, that's like that was
Yeah.
the story that I had from him. I was like, oh man, this poor guy, like. He's walking through like these weird worlds and dimensions and seeing all this weird nonsense that none of us are privy to, and like
Yeah.
that has him so separated, and that's so like strangely tragic. Like he's kind of a tragic hero in
Yeah.
that way, and like I bought into him. Like I fell in love with him for that reason, you know. So
we have 2 more actors as well, but we don't know what they're going to do.
she would tell Ejiofor is Baron
Yeah.
Mordo.
Yes, as we
Yeah.
discussed.
I think that he is. I think he's a good guy. I think he helps teach Doctor Strange. I think he becomes a bad guy at the end when the Ancient One is like, Stephen Strange, you are the Sorcerer Supreme, and
Yeah.
he's like, but no, but me.
Yeah.
I think it'll
And that's
be
how it happened in the comics, and I think that's what they're going to do here.
It's sacrilegious to relate the two, but I think it'll be similar to the Green Lantern movie, Hear Me Out, in which we had a character named Sinestro, who's the
Exactly.
good
Yeah,
guy, who has
yeah.
a giant purple head, and you're like, you know what, he might not be a good guy through the whole movie. Like, so we have Baron Mordo. It's like,
I know.
he might turn by the end.
yeah. I think he
yeah.
turns by the end, and in the sequel, I think the sequel will be based loosely on the Eternity Saga.
I don't know what that
Does
means,
Baron
but that's
Mordo always stay a bad guy, or does he eventually?
he
Okay.
kind of goes. He's
between.
almost always antagonist.
Okay.
But there are times when he's like, oh crap, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
no, yeah. So
Okay.
much like magic. There is no black and white.
yeah, there is.
I see.
And there's
But
a
he
cost
is
to
he is
everything.
mostly
He's at
on
least
the dark
he's
side.
he's a Doctor Strange antagonist.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
just jelly.
Yeah, he's like
mad
he's
jelly.
the very
He's mad
so
jelly.
Nightmare was the first
Dr. Jelly.
the first villain, but Baron Mordo was his first like real arch
Adversary.
nemesis.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So
There's so much for us to learn. All I have to say is Matt.
I will say again that almost made me cry. Like that, it gave me chills, and that by itself, like, because Doctor Strange is like his face, the way he looks up, and like just knowing the back. So for all of you who don't know the history of Doctor Strange, let me give like a super fast rundown. He is an asshole doctor. Like he is a physician from hell.
That means he's a
He is-
proctologist.
He's good at scatting.
Get-
He
stop.
specializes in scatting.
You're also Wong. Stop it.
We should have that every
you,
time
Doom.
one of us makes
I
a
earned
wrong
that.
Thank
point.
you,
I know.
Doom. Thank you, Doom. So he's
a doctor who's an asshole.
He's a jerk. He's like full of himself. He's a doctor with a god complex. And then he breaks his hands in a car accident, irreparably so. He uses all of his resources to get his hands fixed. Can't. Finally hears about this weird mystic in the mountains named the Ancient One. I was like, screw it. I may as well give it. I've tried literally everything else. He goes up to the mountains, and they're like, well, we can heal your hands with magic. And he's like, haha, screw you. No, you can't. Doesn't exist. And that's when we see the Ancient One. And this isn't how it happened in the comic, but this is how it happens in the movie, I'm guessing. That's when he's like, that's not a real thing. And she goes, oh yeah, it is. And that's when she pushes him, like, and he goes into his astral form and he trips through dimensions. So like having that background, knowing how like just how much of a just self-obsessed, science-minded like jerk he is.
Yeah.
When he hits the ground, he's already a changed man, and he like looks up there and goes, "Teach me." I'm like, oh. Teach him, Ancient One, teach him.
I feel like that sequence alone is going to be like a 10-15 minute, like him going through the different planes. Like I'm excited. Like that's going to be a chunk of the story into itself.
There's just there's this strange, like for me there was this strange, redemption in that one moment of like, I've been a dick my entire life. There's this many dimensions and there's so much more that I don't know about, and oh my God, I'm so sorry to everybody. Teach me.
Do you think he'll encounter like other adversaries or other parts that might
absolutely.
like I'm so like so much can happen
and that's
in
the
that
thing, like
moment.
In the trailer they're like, here's this Inception level stuff, like, and that's all cool, and those are like
that
all
was
these
beautiful,
realities
that was
folding,
beautifully shot.
like all those realities folding in on each other, like, you know, in this universe Matt Key is a doctor, in this universe he's a Doctor Strange fan. But
so
like,
what you were saying, like what the Flash TV show did recently, or where they do their time runs, where they'll show things you're going to see later. That would be fantastic. I agree.
Right?
Where you get references. Do you remember the '90s X-Men cartoon used to do that all the time? They would just do these little like Ghost Riders here for 2 seconds, like what? And you'd never see them again.
Who's the DP on this? I want.
I can't remember the
if
name.
someone
I
in the
didn't
chat
look it
can
up.
look up and let me know who the director of photography, because man, like I mean, straight up that was some Inception level. And I know I don't think it's the same DP from Inception, but this is beautifully shot.
Yeah.
I was so turned on by the level of, hey, listen,
Architecture porn,
man.
I get it.
No, it's just like good level shooting, man.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd for a well placed that one perfect shot in a film.
The cinematographer is Ben Davis.
Okay.
Who is also known for a little film called Guardians of the Galaxy.
Never heard
You
of it.
might have heard of Avengers: Age of Ultron.
I didn't. Yeah, that's that.
As
Okay.
well as Kick-Ass.
He did Charlie Cox's Stardust.
Cool.
Daredevil's
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you're not going to impress me with Avengers cinematography, I'll tell you that.
Stardust had beautiful
Yeah, Stardust
cinematography.
was
Burn it.
beautiful.
Yeah. But I going back to like the Inception stuff, I think, like going back to the conversation we had earlier, I think they're keeping the Inception stuff because they're like, hey, you remember that movie Inception? There's elements of that to our film too.
Yeah.
Like, you bought that, you'll buy this.
Yeah.
But I think in the next trailer, or maybe even like trailer number 2 that we'll get probably around Comic-Con, will be like, oh, and by the way, here's the dark dimension, here's the nightmare dimension, here's like all the Ditko stuff that you've been
Once
begging
it's
to
been
see.
wrapped more than a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I'm sure that those effects exist, but again, like, I don't think they want to overwhelm the audience with like, hey, so you're familiar with Captain America, who wears like a star-spangled suit and beats up Nazis. Oh, and then there's Iron Man, he fights aliens. Okay, whatever. Here's this guy who trips through dimensions that like you're gonna have a
Here's
hard
some
time.
acid!
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
I think
it's
it
a
looks
hard
more-
concept to wrap your head around for most audiences.
I think
like,
people are giving it too hard of a time comparing it to Inception, because there was that one shot, but
That's it, yeah.
that to me was more like an acid trip than Inception.
it was
'Cause
more- yeah.
Inception had that beautiful. I love the visuals of Inception, but this, and I'm hoping, goes further, and we're technologically further,
this
and I
is-
think it's too soon.
This
And
was
that's what
more
I'm saying
like
it's going
walking
to.
into an Escher painting.
Yeah, and I
That-
think that's where they're going for.
Yeah.
And I think there's some similarities because architecture is beautiful in what they're doing. I just don't want people to be like,
No.
it's a poor man's. Like, no,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
And I don't want, because a lot of the people that don't know Doctor Strange are saying that, and I disagree.
Mackie, actually, you just kind of sold me on it because, and I look, please don't kick me off your show, Mackie. The
does
Inception
that.
vibe wasn't my favorite part of the trailer, and the trailer I thought was cool. It didn't hook me. I'm going to see it, of course, but I had the same feelings because I wanted more 70s blacklight poster. I
Yeah.
wanted more Doctor Strange weird shit. Excuse me. But you're right. It was to get people in who are not the mega fans to be like,
Exactly.
it's cool, guys. Magic isn't going to hurt you in the Marvel universe. This is what it looks like. You're familiar with that. I think you're right.
Yeah, think about it. They were premiering it on Kimmel, so
Yeah.
you know
It's the broad audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had so many like just friends just in general be like, oh yeah, you like that like aren't giant Marvel fans, but they know
Right.
me like kind of off to the side, like not in the Marvel circles, who will be like, hey, you know, Marvel circles, you know, nerd
This
circles.
is the Marvel Circle. It's like us
this
and two
room
other
right
people. We're in it. Yeah.
Outside of this, though, like they'll be like,
Right.
hey, like the
It's
Doctor
us and
Strange.
two other people.
But they'll say like, hey, the Doctor Strange trailer came out. I don't understand, and it's like that's what Marvel's up against.
Right,
Like,
this is a
Yeah.
good bridge.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
so-
have someone do mushrooms before they take acid. That's just natural. This is the mushrooms.
is
you
the
evolve the
mushroom.
And
acid.
that's
Yeah.
one to grow on from Toy. Thanks, Cole.
Now, kids, remember.
Oh, wrong camera. He gave me some before. I don't know which camera to look at.
Guys, I'm bringing the party to you.
We're filming right now.
Doom is so fast.
That's Chloe's new
no,
line.
Chloe, we're just in a dungeon. It's
Yes.
okay, man.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
There's cameras.
No.
So yeah, I
He
think
knows that camera.
I think that's where they're starting. I think they're trying to be like they're very slowly educating their audience. And look, this is Disney. Disney's marketing this. They're not dumb. They know what they have. They know what they're up against. They know how much they have to educate their audience. Just don't ever take that for granted. Like with stuff like this, where it's like I kind of wasn't sold on it. Oh, well, we've got 7 more months to sell you on it. Calm down. You know. So
And that's just it. They had me already, but now they need to get my dad. You know, and like
exactly.
and this one will be like, oh cool, I like that. That looks weird.
I'm
Like,
so
yeah.
happy we're talking about this because I'm more hyped now. Like I was like, oh man, this is cool, and then I was talking about it on my Twitch stream last night, and I was like, I'm getting a little fatigued, man. I'm getting a little
Already? How
I'm getting
sad
a
is
little
that?
fatigued, and now I'm like, oh no, I'm around my bros. I'm psyched again.
Yeah,
This is good.
we're so spoiled.
Well, it's just we're getting a lot. We're
And
getting
it's
a
so
lot.
different.
Yeah.
Doctor
Yeah.
Strange is going to be the movie
Yeah.
that switches up the. I mean, selfishly,
yeah.
as Deadpool did, the movie that totally changes the cultural zeitgeist that is the direction comic films are going. Sure. So Doctor Strange needed to have a trailer that was like, put your toe in the water, and then this.
Guys, I'll be honest. I'm more excited for Doctor Strange than Civil War.
Wow.
We are not on the same
Well,
side of that
but-
Civil War.
but-
battle. Obviously.
Let's be honest. Because Winter Soldier is my favorite Captain America story, and Civil War I hated when it came out. Well, I didn't
the
even read
comics.
it. Yeah, the
Yeah.
comics. When it came out, I didn't even read the comics. It's going to be 7 years to read the comics,
Yeah.
and I know it's going to be a great movie. I just know it's going to be a great movie. But Doctor Strange is something new and exciting for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
I get
that's why
that.
I'm excited about it.
I just want to say something random, by the way. I saw this a bunch in the chat room before we started. None of us have seen Civil War, so no one's going to spoil anything
Yeah,
about the
don't
movie.
worry.
Just
Yeah.
so you all know, no one's going to talk about
Yeah,
it.
we're not.
We
like
haven't
the
seen it.
rest
We'll
of
talk
our
about it.
friends.
We're
Yeah,
not
all of our friends
cool.
saw it. We didn't,
So
so we're not
many
going to
people are
spoil
there,
it.
and my
Yeah.
Facebook's just like, it was so good.
I'm sure it's going to be a great film. That's the thing. I know it's going to be a great film. I know it's going to be fun, but I'm super stoked for Doctor Strange.
Because there's more risk.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
is.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
like this feels like Guardians of the Galaxy level, like quirky, weird.
Yeah.
Just like buckle up and get ready for what's coming. But like on the other side of the spectrum, it's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
Or like it's not going to be funny.
Oh, yeah.
But then there's
That's
things also
gonna
like,
suck.
but let's face it, there's also movies
Yeah.
like Ant-Man, which like we knew was kind of in trouble from the start. It was a fine film. It didn't.
It wasn't
and
fantastic,
if
but
it
it was fun.
flopped, even
Yeah.
it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
Because it's Ant-Man. It'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, that was fun. Okay, and he can still be in the Avengers movies. It didn't
Spider-Man
have to break
is
new
only in
ground.
one of these movies, so I'm excited for the one.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
your mouth's so.
I have
okay.
a question.
Just dump all your gas.
I know.
Hold your
mushroom
question
thoughts.
for 1 second.
Okay, because
Please
it's a
hold-
Doctor Strange question.
No, I know.
Okay.
I just want to say Patrick Perfield just tweeted at us, can I get a happy belated birthday from you guys? So stoked for Doctor Strange and Civil War is only weeks away. Happy birthday.
belated.
Happy birthday. Okay, ask your question.
Mads Mikkelsen. We
Who is he?
we finally see him in action, but we still don't have a name for his character. Also, he's got some weird makeup going on his
Yeah.
face. Like, are we going to get some? Is that just because we're going to see some CGI tracking on top of him? Like,
I
I
think
thought
so.
maybe,
That's what
but
I'm
in the
wondering.
trailer he
yeah.
had the eyes.
What's going on there? It's
Interesting.
weird.
The trailer's not close up on him. I think
Yeah.
the eyes that you see are still like the weird crackled sort
Right,
of
I
eyes
thought they
that
were
you
for
saw in the
tracking like
pictures.
Deadpool had
Yeah.
the spaces, but then in the trailer he had just the eyes that were cracked.
I'm like, it
I
just
think
looked
there
like
could-
some bad makeup. What's
the
going
makeup
on,
looks
Mads?
good. I just don't know what
Cosplay.
character that could be.
So I do think that there could be a little bit more effect added to it later. I mean, that was like just kind of a quick little thing. Like there's so much going on in that scene already where
Yeah.
reality just like bending all around him
As
and his
you do.
cultist. But I have 2 theories. I think
Okay.
he's one of 2 people. I've already mentioned that I think he could be Dr. Charles Benton. They're going to take
How
2.
many freaking doctors does this movie have? Jesus.
There's also Nicodemus West, who's played by Michael Stolberg, I think, and he also goes on to be kind of a bad guy in the
throwing
Oath.
out
He's kind of-
doctorates.
yeah.
Just
I didn't get my
throwing
PhD
I
in
know.
weirdness to be called Mister. Thank you very much.
There's a guy named, I talked about him last week, but like Dr. Charles Benton goes on to become a priest of the Sons of Satanish. Satanish. We're not
Okay.
necessarily
Sons of Satan.
Satan, we're Satanish.
Yes, yes.
Satanish. So like when Doctor Strange has his mask, like for that like
Oh,
period
that was
of
a
like
weird
1 year.
90s thing, yeah.
No,
Where it
that
looked like
was like,
Spider-Man
that was
2099.
like that was middle 70s.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else then. Sorry, go on.
So that is because Asmodeus casts him into another dimension and then steals Doctor Strange's actual likeness. Like doesn't like he actual steal. Like it's
His
not
face,
like
It's a body swap concept, but on a more cosmic
so
level.
like Doctor Strange, like, and that actually locks Doctor Strange out from coming into the dimension, back into his home dimension, our dimension.
To 616.
So he has to the 616. So he has to adopt a completely different form in order to come back to the dimension and fight the guy who stole his likeness. It's weird and trippy and out there. So that's the guy. He does that.
Okay. There's one choice.
And one of the reasons I think is because since he's summoning Satanish, I think that they may change it to like Sons of Dormammu or something like that, and he's summoning Dormammu. And
It's a good biker gang name, too.
right, Sons of Dormammu.
I'd get that jacket.
I'm like, I was like, give me that jacket right now.
But it starts off, and he's like a very benevolent, very good doctor. Like he actually runs a charity. He asks Doctor Strange to contribute to it, and he flips him off and is like, "Go away."
We know Mads Mikkelsen can play that charming, creepy.
absolutely. He's Lecter, man.
So the other version that I think he could be is this sorcerer named Kalu. Kaluu, who is a contemporary of the Ancient One, and they actually went to school together, grew up together. It was very much like Dumbledore and his friend, whose name I can't remember.
Snape?
No. Like pre-Voldemort and all that stuff. Like the one that like they say like he was actually had like a homosexual love for. I can't remember.
You're the one
I'm
in
literally
the
wearing a
Slytherin
Harry Potter
tie.
tie, and I don't know the answer to what you're talking
But you
about.
know
I've read the books. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of
So
his name.
like
Sorry.
it was the equivalent of like that. They were like
can't I
really
think of
close
it?
friends. I think they were in a village called like Camartage or something like that. But they like Kalu discovered a book called The Darkhold.
Oh, I know the Darkhold, yeah.
The Book of Sin. It's next to the Book of the Vishanti. It's the most powerful spell book in in our reality. But it's almost all dark spells. And he falls in love with that and starts to follow that, and then he and the Ancient One come to odds.
That would make sense.
I have two things.
Another
Yes.
book.
One, Timothy Cogan wonders if you think he might be an early form of Blackheart.
Oh,
Because
Blackheart.
Blackheart's an awesome villain, and that would make sense visually with the eyes starting that way.
But is Blackheart a Spider-Man villain?
No, he's a
No,
Ghost Rider
he's a
villain,
Ghost Rider
technically,
villain.
and they own the
And
rights.
they
They
have
got the
Marvel
rights
back.
back, so he
I
could
think
be.
he could be, but
He was in Marvel vs. Capcom, so he's popular.
I'm going to go with this
Yeah.
Kalu thing because that would be interesting to pit an ancient
yeah, like
one
I would
up.
love to see the Ancient One
Yeah.
kind of fight like an old friend and be like, here's an ancient
That ups the stakes.
Yeah, but I will say that Kevin Feige and producer Charles Broussard have both said he's a human sorcerer.
Okay, so that changes.
okay.
He's definitely
Probably not
Blackheart.
yeah.
Blackheart.
So let me ask you this real quick. So when we talk about, say, a Spider-Man movie, and you're like, hey, someone's going to be in a Spider-Man movie, there's the first five, you think you're just like, oh, it's either Dr. Octopus, Scorpion. Like, there's the heavy hitters. You don't
Yeah.
think of like, oh, there'll be Madam Web. Like, you don't usually go that obscure, especially in a first film. So for someone who doesn't know Doctor Strange as well, is there anyone we're missing in the obvious top five? Like, there's Dormammu, there's Baron Mordo. Who else am I missing?
There would be Dormammu, Mephisto probably.
Oh, Mephisto, who is the devil,
Baron
by the
Mordo.
way. Oh my God, dude! What if Mads
Mephisto is
Mikkelsen
sick.
is Mephisto?
No, but we said human sorcerers.
sorcerer.
So yeah,
Probably
But he
not.
is the
Probably
devil,
not.
basically. He's so
I mean,
good.
he could be summoning Mephisto,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I really think Marvel's going to want to set up Dormammu as the big bad for the sequel. 'Cause
Fair enough.
We're probably going to get a sequel.
I think it's gonna
I
be
think
Mads,
it's the
then.
slot that's
Yeah.
not been named yet. In
I think it's gonna be
phase
Mads.
three.
I'll bet he turns into Dormammu. I bet he travels some way, it goes wrong, and his head catches fire in another dimension.
I'm okay with.
Sorry if that's a spoiler.
want
If it
this.
happens in the movie, I'm sorry.
I kind of hope that that's not how it happens,
Yeah.
though. I would rather Dormammu be like this other
An entity?
creature entity.
Oh,
that
see,
would,
And then
like,
he's summoned. We get a new actor.
Oh.
takes over Mads Mikkelsen, sure, but I
Yeah.
don't want him to become Dormammu.
Oh,
interesting.
see, I
Like,
want Mads to be the avatar that becomes.
Sure.
You know, that
I would be
yeah.
I would be fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else we're missing on the big baddies? The obvious baddies?
Shumagaroth, maybe.
Yeah, which is like a
I
multi-tentacled
have to,
Cthulhu.
Like
yeah, I
monster.
kind of have to like
Yeah.
look up all these people because I just looked up Kalu and I'm like, oh, he's definitely.
I mean, Doctor Strange really doesn't have.
Oh, I hope that's not
I
who
mean,
they
mo-
cast
most-
Mads
most
Mikkelsen
of-
as, guys.
Grindelwald is the
Kalu.
Harry Potter guy,
Kalu.
guys.
Grindelwald. thank you.
Grindelwald.
And someone said a rumor back in November 15th that the character was Caecilius. Any idea?
Zilius?
A name taken from a character associated with Baron Mordo in the Marvel comics. I don't know. And also, it's Rich Cocoon's
Can he be?
birthday.
Can
Oh,
Mads
happy
be this
birthday.
guy?
Happy birthday.
That's
Happy birthday.
Starro. from
That is-
DC.
Why is that?
Close
Why
enough,
did that
because
come up?
Shuma
Why did that come up?
Garoth should have come up.
Yeah,
They look the same.
Shuma Garoth, yeah.
Shuma Garoth looks almost exactly the same.
Satanish is another big entity. Like most of the Nightmare would be a giant
Nightmare
Doctor
would be
Strange
fantastic.
villain.
So yeah, so
Like
Nightmare
Nightmare.
is Nightmare is exactly what he sounds like. Well actually, and I don't know which came first, but I feel like they later designed him to look like Dream from Sandman, kind of as like
Yeah.
the even
Yeah.
more
Little bit.
dark version of him. But yeah, so he's a nightmare. I mean, he controls nightmares.
He controls the dream dimension. He has literally no power in our world.
Right.
But he
and
entices.
yet he sort of does.
But he does because he entices sleepers into his realm where he like starts to kind of take over and control them. And I think it's through that, like by turning people into avatars, that he can kind of come into our world and
That'd be cool.
take over.
Now I'm excited. I want to do
But
Nightmare now. I think.
I don't think he's going to be Nightmare either.
Well,
it's possible.
we'll see. He's
It's
Brother
possible.
Voodoo. Mads Mikkelsen is Brother Voodoo. I called it.
Oh my god, that would be.
Please don't do that.
So,
But I would love to see
Then-
Brother Voodoo.
Please don't
like,
do that.
In a
I
sequel,
can't
like, I would love
Yeah.
to
for
see
Brother Voodoo. Now,
Yeah.
Brother Voodoo takes over for Doctor Strange at some point in the comics, and he's an amazing character.
Around,
by the
like,
way.
2008.
Who's also he's a lot in in the Scarlet Witch book right now as well as Doctor Strange. The guy with the green stripe in his hair. He's Irish. His name is
gosh.
Oh, it's
Shrike.
this-
No. Sorry, it's a
The
huge
Emerald
storyline. Warlock.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I think he's
Warlock.
new.
love you
Is
so
he?
much, Coy.
I think he's a new character.
Is he?
I
Yeah,
don't
but-
remember
he's
him
pretty
at all.
cool.
No, I
I
don't
like
know.
him.
Marvel's
They're-
bringing in a lot of the new stuff
Yeah.
too.
They're
There's-
pitching him as a classic
Like-
villain from the
Right.
series, but I don't know. So Emerald Warlock is a great character. That's a major issue in the Marvel comics right now.
Yeah.
So
And
Isn't
the
it
Scarlet
so
Witch, though.
shameless though? Scarlet Witch, Emerald Warlock.
Emerald
I know.
Warlock, yeah.
Really, these colors and
Mads-
Mads do
Mads
it.
is
Hey,
an- what
listen,
is
we're
Mads? What's his
running
nationality?
out of. Isn't he Swedish?
I honestly don't know.
Scandinavian.
Something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
So he probably
Yeah,
wouldn't be
no.
an Irish warlock.
Yeah, probably
No,
not.
no.
Colin Farrell,
Yeah.
bring in Colin Farrell, man. Let's redeem him.
Yes.
So yeah, I kind
letter
of
W on his head.
I think we kind of have to move on.
Conor
I
McGregor.
know.
It's true.
But like, what else do you guys have to say about the trailer before we move on?
It's the first trailer since Deadpool that I watched on repeat 4 times. It's the first
Yeah.
time that I was like, more! And I actually waited to not watch it on my phone, and that's because of
Yeah.
Matt Key.
Aw,
I was
thank
out
you.
and I was like, I could, no. I only get
Yeah.
to watch this for the first time once. TV, went home. Blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was never a Deadpool.
Wow.
Deadpool,
I was never a Doctor
Strange.
Strange man until this, and this year Matt and I both get our big movies, and it's
Yeah.
really exciting.
And you started the year and we end the year.
yeah, it's a
I
pretty
end the year
magical
with
thing. And in the
mine,
middle,
so-
we get Spider-Man.
We'll see how
a Captain
we'll
America
see,
movie.
We'll see
It's
how the
got
X-Men
Spider-Man.
movie Apocalypse comes out. If I finally get like one
Your
of the
X-Men
near,
movie?
yeah, I mean, come on,
movie.
Gene's coming in. Gene's
True.
coming in.
It's got a lot of hope.
Yeah, it
it's
has,
a great,
I'm
Turner's
excited,
good.
man.
it's
I'm
an
excited.
incredible year, you
It
guys.
is.
It's
It really
April.
is.
We've already had
Yeah.
Deadpool. We've already had Daredevil season 2. We're gearing up for Civil War.
We've had Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
We've had Dawn of Justice. Things happened there.
Yeah.
It was a movie.
So I'm excited. It's a good year, man.
Yeah.
I'm real stoked.
I have to say,
Doom.
Doom. I'm interested to see how you guys are going to process this as an Ant-Man fan
Okay.
for many years. It's been this weird phenomenon since the movie came out of like people know who Ant-Man is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see, Matt, how that is for you now that, because it's not a bad feeling, because like I have my Giant Man toy on the
Yeah.
desk
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
They made a Giant Man toy. I got to buy that.
Bobblehead.
I was just
too.
thinking
But-
about that today, actually, Doom, and I agree with Matt. And now, Matt, you know that I'm the biggest Star-Lord fan there is. I went to Comic-Con dressed as Star-Lord the year that they announced the film, and no one knew who I was, including the Marvel employees.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, they had no idea who that was. And I'm like, you announced the movie yesterday. I'm that guy. And they're like, we don't know what that is.
Ooh, that's rough.
So Doom, I'm just talking to the air. Same. When you see your character that you love on like a pencil case, it's the weirdest thing, especially when it's someone obscure like Ant-Man or like Star-Lord. And I mean, Doctor Strange, like you got some socks. You got a few items that they put at kind of 70s.
Meredith's got me those socks.
They're lovely socks, by the way. So yeah, it is going to be weird when you see the cereal.
There
It's
is
gonna
so
it's
much
strange.
coming. Oh, I know. I'm
it's
excited.
strange. I
It's
just
strange.
yeah, but it's a weird feeling
excited.
as a huge.
My
nerd.
guy was
Yeah.
always like a Hot Topic guy.
Yeah.
Like he
Sure.
was always
Yeah.
like the fanboy.
Yes.
Like there was a very specific crowd,
Yeah.
but then to see the MTV Movie Awards had hundreds of Deadpools,
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds sitting in the
Yeah.
audience, and Salt and Pepper come out was just like, oh, it's him. It's literally like he's as big as Spider-Man right now.
Well,
It's
your
crazy.
guy got critical acclaim, and that was the
That's
weirdest
insane,
part. Was
'cause
just
he's
like
the least critically acclaimed character.
Yeah, because
Like-
I'm like I had full Deadpool fatigue, absolutely, because of Deadpool fans.
You didn't even read the comics before.
I
You
loved
were-
the comics. How dare you?
But you asked me which ones like how to get in because we were talking about how the comics are hit or miss.
I
'Cause the
said that
comics are hit or
I
miss.
said I was 5 years out. I started the original
but
Deadpool.
when you go
but yes.
when you go to conventions for work and you have to
So
work
tired of
with
it, yeah.
All the
work with
Deadpools, yeah.
cosplayers, yeah.
And I agree, the comics
Yeah.
were really uneven for like 10 years. universe.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
amazing that this guy is now like a pinnacle of Marvel.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
think we're gonna find the same thing with Strange. I think
Fox?
new attitudes.
Give me Sophie Turner. Give me a Jean Grey to be excited about. I have faith in you. And please, 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 January Jones, your Emma Frost is dead. So we have hope. We can get a new Emma. I want the right Emma. I mean, I'm a
You've earned
blonde
it.
now.
You've
I'm
earned
just
it.
saying.
No, you've
I'm
earned it.
a
You've earned
blonde.
it.
I've taken some acting classes. I'm the right age.
Oh, I don't know if you earned that. You earned a new
I don't
Emma,
think I've
but you
earned that, but
I'll
I've earned
see
a
your
good
audition.
Emma.
We'll see.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm the perfect Emma. I'm just saying,
Right.
please, we've earned a good Emma.
It's time.
She's a dynamic character
Yep.
she's more than just a sexy corset.
Yeah.
She is a sexy corset, but
She
she's
is,
more
but
than
she's
just
so
a
much
sexy
more than
corset.
that. She's so much more
I
than
know.
that.
I also think it's. I thought I would share this with you guys. If did you guys know that you can find the Sanctum Sanctorum on Google Maps?
Yes.
What?
I learned that on Matt Key's
Are
Facebook
you
today. Actually.
serious? That's so cool. It should be here in the studio right now. You can find
It
us,
moves.
stalk
Well, it
us.
should technically. Yeah.
You can just go. I'll throw it up on the screen right now. You can just go.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh my
It's on
gosh.
Bleecker Street, right? It's
So
down
cool.
Greenwich Village.
Yeah, 177A Bleecker Street in Greenwich.
Cool.
And then you click deeper in.
So cute.
And
I love
does
it.
it actually take you inside?
Yeah.
Then you get to see a little more, and you can
Oh,
even
that's so cool.
you can even leave a review.
Oh my gosh.
some weird guy named Zach Wilson wrote a
Oh.
review. It's almost Wong. How much I love
Oh my god! I'd be like,
Wow.
that book tried to eat me, and this
Oh, that's
doctor
so good.
sucks. He can't
like
cure
a-
my cold.
Sounds like that Zach guy has a lot of free time.
Before we move on, I would like to as we move on, I would like to give a very loving shout out to Jeffrey Spicer, which is
Jeffrey Spicer.
I think that's how you say his name because he gave us.
I have to put my glasses on. to
Wait,
see.
what? He gave
What?
us?
What?
I've been hiding these the whole time.
Aww.
I saw him fidgeting. I couldn't tell with what.
What is this?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, that's so
Whoa.
cool. Can cameras see
That's-
Yeah, well, it
Choose
could
your
because
side.
Coy was in the way, but that's awesome.
All right. Well, hold up.
Choose-
Hold up.
what-
Oh.
What?
What's that one? What's that one?
What is
What?
this one?
What is
Oh.
it? What is it?
says
Oh,
Doctor
it says
Strange,
Doctor
bro.
Strange.
Oh my god.
Dude,
So Meredith gets that one.
Yeah,
that's
that's for me.
awesome. That
one's
That's
yours,
for me,
yeah.
obviously. Yeah.
It's got the seal of the Vishanti
Oh,
and
oh
everything.
my
That's
God.
freaking dope.
Awesome.
No, look at
What?
What is it?
Oh,
It's
a
Squirrel Pool?
Pool.
What?
Oh,
that's
my god,
awesome.
that's so
That's a perfect
cool.
combination of all the
That
best
really
things.
is. That is the best of all
that's-
worlds. It's so cool. And what's
Oh my
yours?
God, what's yours?
It's beautiful.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
time to put balls in holes.
These are
nice.
wonderful.
Did he create all of these?
Yeah, these are his.
Dude, who did
thank
this?
you.
Jeffrey Spicer.
Jeffrey, you're
Jeffrey
so
Spicer.
cool.
And the one I'm wearing now.
Oh, I love the one you're wearing
Oh.
now too.
Because it's
These
a
are
combination
so
of Spider-Man and
cute.
Deadpool.
Nice.
So I wanted to give a
Yeah.
thorough, dramatic pause worth of love.
Jeffrey, thank
I think that
you,
deserves
man.
the time, yeah. Squirrel
so
Pool is the
Awesome, man.
best.
I'm gonna wear
Best-
this
best
next
time
week.
for me to
Thank you,
come
dude.
back.
That's awesome.
So
Pool
this
wins.
gentleman has shirts available online. I will, if he tweets me, tweet out his
Yeah.
store link because these are all available and they're awesome.
asking,
and
yeah.
I,
These are so cool.
yeah, they're on a website that
These
I don't know
are
off the top of my
great.
head, but
These
they're
are-
amazing.
They're really nice done. By the
Yeah.
way, the screen printing is great, and
Yeah.
the quality. Oh, I love
Jeffrey,
good
I
shirts.
put you in the Mary Marvelite
Thank
Hall of
you.
Fame.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
wanted to say thanks with a dramatic pause. Thank you, sir.
Thank
These
you.
are awesome.
Also, by the way, hold up, guys. Hold on.
Someone's trying to get you to take your
I-
shirt
yeah,
off
there's
right
a,
now.
there's a pretty thorough.
I need
Is there
to
a
point
glow?
out that I think that this glows in the dark. I think,
Oh, the tag?
yeah,
That's cool.
the tag
It
glows
looks
in
like
the
it
dark.
does.
Oh, mine.
What if the whole thing does? What if the whole face
Oh,
does?
I wish it
That
does.
would
It
be
doesn't,
amazing.
but I think the tag glows in the dark.
All right, I want to say one last thing about
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange before we move on. I love his voice. Like the voice where he
Didn't go British. We weren't sure,
Yeah,
right? He
yeah.
didn't go British. Yeah.
But here's the thing about what I loved. The voice itself, like, and I don't know how Benedict did this. The voice itself seems full of himself and tired.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just the voice, like not the performance, not the delivery. The voice itself seems to have this like tone to it of like, I'm tired,
Yeah.
and you're wrong. Science is king. Fairy tales are stupid. Like like just the voice carries that, and I just love that.
Benedict's an amazing actor,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, this cast
Yeah.
is dumb. This cast is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
We haven't even discussed Rachel Adams, by the way.
I
Like, I'm
know.
sorry.
Yeah.
Do we know what she's? You had theorized she was another night nurse.
She's
didn't
one of the
you?
3 night nurses.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's,
That was your theory,
She won't
or-
be. That's my theory. I think that's who she's probably going to be. I think is it Linda Carter or Linda Evans? I can't remember.
Just give us
She's-
I want all the night nurses to appear,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna get a night nurse,
Do you
like
think
just
we're-
a one shot.
Do you think we're too early for a Clea?
She's not Clea.
Okay, so Clea is another magic user who is like Doctor Strange's
his main squeeze.
yeah, and his I would say his equal finally. Like in the early days, she was just kind of like Lady Strange, but then
He
proven that she's stronger than
took
he
her
is.
on as a student, taught her, and then she became his equal. And she actually took over the Dark Dimension for a while. Like she kind of like got tired of Strange, moved into the Dark Dimension, then had some trouble with her mother, Umar, who is the brother to the sister to Dormammu, who is her uncle.
Oh, that's some,
Doctor Strange or some Game of Thrones nonsense going on
is.
here. Yeah, okay.
So like Doctor Strange had to go and help her take out Umar and stuff like that. But like she like is the leader of the Dark Dimension for a while.
Are there any other females in the Doctor Strange universe that are sort of prominent?
just
I don't know of any.
there's this new one that in the
Oh, the
new
girl
books,
that's who's just kind of a girl who's learning, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who I love that character,
I
by the
know,
way. She's
she's
sort of a
great.
librarian who's just kind of being dragged
Oh
along.
man, there's another one from the 70s, but I can't remember her name.
Okay. The new girl's almost like his Pepper Potts in
I
a weird way, and I
know.
love it.
She's
I'm
sweet.
sorry, I don't know her character name. She's like brand new, but really
Yeah.
clever. Yeah.
So yeah, I love that, and the whole astral form thing, and it's
all good.
I just can't. I literally just can't.
My reaction to the trailer, by the way, was I'm very happy for my friend Matt Key. I'm not joking. Like, but I really was like,
Yeah.
on my own as a comic fan, I was just like, well, that'll be neat. I'm going to see it. It hasn't completely hooked me, but I know it's going to be good. And exactly that. Like, I know this is our first trailer. I don't want to see everything yet. And I'm really happy for Matt because I know this is what he wants.
I actually got that a lot. Like,
Yeah.
it was like Tuesday was a very sublime day. Like, because I was getting tweeted from like fans and
met
everything
Sublime,
like that.
too?
Like, I met Sublime.
Big
Oh,
Daddy.
amazing.
Lucky
They were in
duck.
Just
They were
Sublime
great.
hanging
Oh,
out.
man. The soundtrack for Doctor
Katie
Strange.
Couric.
It's because Doctor
And
Strange
Sublime.
practices Santeria.
Yeah.
And he's got that crystal ball. If he had $1 million,
Stop. Get out.
he'd spend it all.
Stop. Get out. Stop.
Don't
Get
say.
out.
Just continue. This is so good.
Oh my God.
This is
I
gonna.
never thought I'd be able to cross over
that was
311
so.
to Doctor
I
Strange.
love
We just
you.
took him to
Skibbity
the-
bop.
Love you.
Skibbity bop.
So
Smiley, you idiot. You're supposed to be a professional.
this is going to be the douchiest movie critic thing I've ever said in my 6 months of movie criticizing.
It's a small window.
It is. I recently fell into this hole. That's where I've gone. I'm so excited about this cast because this is, I feel, Marvel's most elevated cast in terms of the talent they brought on with their actors. Like we're looking at some of the most phenomenal thespians
Yeah.
that are going to be working on this, and I think this is going to be a very smart movie, and this is going to be very different from Marvel because I mean it's going to be a superhero movie, but it's going to take things to a very different level that we haven't seen in a Marvel film, and I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be. Yes, it's going to be a Marvel film. Yes, it's going to be action. Yes, it's going to be trippy. But it's an indie film.
Yeah.
When you look at the cast,
Yeah.
this is an indie film cast, and I'm excited for it. This is something. If it didn't have a Doctor Strange title to it, you would be like, oh, this is going to be up for some Oscars and some. You know, when you look at just the cast name behind
Yeah,
it.
I agree
So
with
I think I'm excited to see what they do when we always talk about the best superhero films are like different genres. Ant-Man was a heist film. You know, we say that this is a horror film. I don't really think this is a horror film. I think this is
I think
shaping
there
up.
could be elements of it.
There's
but
definitely
yeah.
elements, but I think this is shaping up to be an indie film in all the right ways that someone puts together. Like, I want to put this together to put it on all the lists that go into all the film. The
Journals.
the film journals and the film festivals, and I think that's what Doctor Strange is shaping up. When you take all the strippings of Marvels and superheroes away, this is a weird ass film with some weird ass shit happening with some of the best actors that you can put on
That's
it.
going to be your critic review
That's
on
my
the
critic.
poster.
Yep.
It's a weird ass film with some weird ass shit happening.
know.
Meredith
Flacco.
Flacco.
Aaron Flacco. If someone quotes me on that, I've made it. I don't know. Yeah.
I found the shirts. I wanted to give
Yeah.
direct.
Do it. Do it.
So tpublic.com user Artboy. He's got tons of
Artboy?
awesome stuff.
Love it.
ARTBOY. Full thorough shout out. Buy some things.
Nice.
Nice.
T-Public is T-E-E Public.
Yeah.
Oh, T like a
Jeffrey
t-shirt.
Spicer, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. So saith the eye of Agamotto.
I can't wear the glasses with the headphones, man.
Okay.
I'll give up vision to be able to not have a headache.
You know what we look like.
Yeah, you know.
But I had to see
you
what
know.
these shirts look like because they're so baller.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I think it's an hour of talking about Doctor
Okay,
Strange.
can we move on to other stuff? Because there are other things.
There are other things. I know.
sorry.
It's so that's so hard. Okay.
I know.
Captain Marvel.
It is so hard.
I saw the
Yeah.
trailer. Yeah.
Hey-o. Whoop, you're wrong.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Kevin Feige says he said like he thinks he knows when they'll be able to talk about casting.
Oh, good. So
the
we
film.
have a movie that's coming out that eventually we'll cast an actor
Yeah, we
for.
might
That's
do that,
wonderful.
yeah.
I'm
Just
so
like
glad.
there's a script for
Yeah.
Ant-Man coming.
Yeah, there is a
Cool.
script. But he did give a time frame, which is great. He said, I think we'll be announcing a filmmaker in the next month or two, so like director and stuff like that.
Okay.
And probably some
May,
cast members later in the
April,
summer,
May.
at the end of the summer. It's about Carol Danvers
no.
and that journey
Do
to
it.
be
Reveal
Captain
it at
Marvel.
Comic-Con. Give us Catherine Winnick at Comic-Con. That's
is
all I want.
That is later in the summer.
I just want Catherine Winnick at
I
Comic Con
know.
anyway.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Well,
Like,
they always do the
She
Viking
owned it
stuff.
last year.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. My
So-
stupid
Yep.
co-host on Punch Drunk TV got to interview her
Mm,
and
punch
fell
him in
in
the
love.
face.
Yeah.
He fell in
What a
love
jerk.
immediately.
What a
And he drank
jerk.
with Bjorn.
I don't think they're going to be.
Vikings.
Oh
Viking
man, I
boat,
want to.
yeah.
Yeah, right?
I'll drink
You got
Bjorn
wasted
under the
with Bjorn.
table.
I don't think they're going to be at Comic-Con
Vodka.
much because D23.
No, D23 is not happening this year. It's every
next
other
year.
year.
Oh,
next year.
That's so we do have a chance of having some
We
good
do
Marvel.
actually have a
Yeah.
chance.
This year
That's
we'll probably
exciting.
get a
Yeah.
giant Doctor Strange reveal. We'll probably hear about Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
We'll probably hear some more about Black Panther.
So if you don't know, by the way,
Yeah.
we want Catherine Winnick.
Yeah.
It's from Vikings. She plays Lagertha. I mean, there's literally no other. And
Which
like,
also a couple episodes ago, I'm
with
just
you.
saying.
I'm
I'm
with you.
just
There's an
saying.
iconic
Seen it.
visual
Yeah.
that if it was Game of Thrones, you'd all
Yeah.
would have known about it, and everyone would be dressing up
Exactly.
as it, but no one watches Viking except for me and Meredith. But
I'm like a season behind.
You'll
I
get
love
there.
it.
Listen, Katie Sackhoff is a great choice. Don't get me wrong. Everyone's leaning on Katie. I love Katie Sackhoff. I think she would be
She would be
fantastic. But
phenomenal.
I think Catherine Winnick would be better. I
Yeah.
just do.
Yeah.
I'm still in the Blunt train.
Yeah,
Emily
you
Blunt?
would be.
Emily Blunt.
Is it all about drugs with you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The Blunt.
The Blunt train. The Blunt train.
Okay.
Emily Blunt is a good choice.
Here's my thing. I guess it depends on what age they're looking for
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. If they want to go younger origin, I think Emily Blunt would be great. If they want to bring someone in who's already been through the rough, she's already gone through her service years, she's already spent some time mucking it up in the Air Force, and we're getting her midway through her career. I think Catherine Winnick's great. Not saying Catherine Winnick can't play like a young 20-something, but I think give us someone who's got that late 20s, early 30s, that weight to her,
Yeah.
that she's already got a commanding presence. I think we got enough origin stuff going
Yeah.
on. I don't think we need some more. We have a young Scarlet Witch. We've got a lot of other. We have a young Ant-Man. We've got other like super young Spider-Man. With the older guys moving their way out, I think we could stand to have Captain Marvel come in with some authority already.
Well,
in.
she's a captain. She shouldn't be
yeah,
like 20.
she shouldn't be. Yeah,
She should have a young. I mean, I like Charlize Theron, Emily Blunt, and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Charlize
Those are my
Theron
three.
would be.
I'm
Pretty
Catherine Winnick or Charlize Theron, but
Yeah,
I just
I'm,
want.
I'm on the exact same
Yeah.
train as you,
I feel
Meredith.
like Charlize is everything.
I know,
though.
but that's why I want
But
Catherine
I want
Winnick.
her to take a break.
So good.
I want Catherine
Yeah.
Winnick to go up into that
I just
film
want
world.
Catherine.
I know.
She deserves it. She is the character. She's perfect for it.
So let me interject this, and then we do need to move on. But
Yeah.
No.
Feige does say it's about Carol Danvers and that journey to being Captain Marvel. So it probably is going to be a bit of an origin, and I think it has to be because other than the four of us at this table
Yeah.
and maybe like another few thousand people in America, like no one knows her origin, and her
Yeah.
origin's wacky.
But I'm saying, but I'm just saying, she's not an 18-year-old army person
No.
becoming.
No.
Right.
She's
lived a little.
Yeah, she's become a captain. You don't become a captain at 8. Well, some
Yeah.
people.
All right, and I have a quick question. Let's just go for it. If they cast Captain Marvel as another ethnicity, if she's Hispanic, if she's Asian, are you going to table flip? I'm not. I'd be
No.
fine with
I
that
don't
in that
care.
character.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't.
absolutely.
I do not need a white woman as Captain Marvel.
Yeah, and even unpopular opinion, very short, is that even with the Iron Fist controversy, I feel like the sell of Iron Fist, as it were, was that he is a doofy white rich guy who becomes a better person through learning Eastern arts.
But I think
and so him being Asian wouldn't make sense to me.
let me counter
But that's
that
just
because
me.
I have a lot of Asian American friends who are so far removed now because Iron Fist in the 70s.
Yeah.
You don't have that 40 years now. Asian Americans now are so far removed from their cultural origins. If
Fair.
they, so having
be a
an-
reawakening.
that would be a
I get that.
and I think there would have been some poignancy to that.
Yeah, I get
and
that.
that's
Okay.
that's just me speaking with a lot of my Asian American friends
Yeah,
that
yeah.
now moving from east to west, and I get that, and I almost would have liked to have seen that because there would have been some hurt there.
I get that too.
So,
then. Okay, so I'm sorry I sidebarred
Yeah.
there, but
No,
yeah,
I just-
but
yeah.
Captain Marvel honestly can be any
I don't-
ethnicity,
yeah.
and there have been multiple Captain Marvels, by the way,
Yeah.
who are multiple ethnicities.
But I just love
Yeah,
Catherine.
Monica Rambeau.
I just love
who's
Catherine
fantastic in
Winnick.
Spectrum
Which is
also.
Spectrum, yeah,
Yeah.
who I love.
But
She
she
was
also
she was my
Captain
Captain Marvel for a long time because
Yeah.
I came in at Secret Wars. She was my Captain Marvel. I loved her.
Yeah, I'm just saying Catherine Winnick just because I love Catherine Winnick. Doesn't
You and I
all.
are 100% on that page. 100%. She is Captain Marvel.
Yeah. No, I'm on board. So let's move on real quick. What's the next? Infinity War.
Yes.
Part 1 and Part 2 are going to be different from each other. So they're not going to be continuations. In other words,
Okay.
it's not
I
going
love
to be.
that.
It's not
Yeah.
going to be like the Lord of the Rings, where it's like, oh, there go Frodo and Sam off and into the woods, and now we're going to have to wait for a year.
Or more importantly, not like a young adult
Yeah.
fiction novel that they're like, let's make it 2 Divergent Series
Yeah.
7s.
So like it
So-
sounds almost like they could have been like, here's Infinity Gauntlet, here's Infinity War, 2 completely
Right.
separate movies.
So and we were talking about this beforehand. So we'd we'd always discussed that was going to be a part 1 and part 2. I think it's going to be the end of C3
Yeah.
and the beginning of 4, Phase 4. I think that's what it's
gonna
going to be.
I think it's gonna be the new wave, kind of like
Yeah.
what you're saying. The Doctor Strange's, the Ant-Man's, and then
Yeah.
the second film brings back the Iron Man, Captain Americas that
Yeah.
got killed, or whoever dies. in
Or
Civil
we get
War.
our Young
Yeah.
Avengers, man.
I think it's gonna be 2 different teams
Yeah.
that we kind of focus on one, then we focus on another, and then it
Yeah.
culminates.
Give me Kate Hawkeye.
Yes.
me that.
Kate
Now's
Bishop,
the
Hawkeye,
time they
yeah.
Kate
can.
Bishop,
Like now
yeah.
is
I want
This
it.
unpopular
the time.
idea, but this would also be a time for renegotiate with the studios, because if they go a full Infinity Gauntlet / Secret Wars kind of thing, they can literally start recasting. They can be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Thor, you look different now. Like they can,
Exactly.
and I don't just mean bringing in Lady Thor. I mean bringing
No.
in a new guy as Thor. Like they
Exactly.
can actually do that if they want to at that point.
Yeah.
Because everyone's talking about their contracts ending.
Yeah.
I want to say something real quick about Infinity War, the actual comics, that I hope doesn't happen. Infinity Gauntlet was a amazing series that really covered some stuff I'd never seen in comics, namely all the heroes dying horrifically.
Yeah.
And there was a point in that series when I was like, maybe they're not all coming back from this. Like, it was pretty gritty. And I'd never seen a villain like Thanos in that. Infinity War was a cheap cash-in. I'm just saying the comics, not the, but that's
Yeah,
the title
yeah.
that they've chosen. Infinity War was a terrible storyline in which all the doppelgangers showed up so that you could see doppelgangers, and they're, I'm sorry, Ron Lim, bless his heart, he got the job done, but he was a very simplistic artist.
Yeah.
So it was never quite what you wanted. It was like Gambit's fighting Spider-Man, but it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
a doppelganger of Gambit,
Spider-Man, yeah.
or Ghost Rider. So they were all mashing up all these fights of things you wanted, but it wasn't really them.
Yeah.
And I loathe that concept in movies. Do you remember the Inspector Gadget live movie, which was Matthew
Matthew
Broderick?
Broderick?
Yes.
And right off the bat from the trailer was like, Inspector Gadget, it's a new introduction of Inspector Gadget, and here's his evil doppelganger. I'm like, can we not? Like, that's your fifth movie tired idea. Don't bring that. I know I just brought Inspector Gadget into this conversation.
Yeah,
That's
but
pretty cool.
I don't listen. I know that everyone thinks it's cute, and it's like Captain America go look to camera and be a jerk because he's a doppelganger. I don't want any of that.
No. I
don't think
want
they're gonna do
none
that.
of that.
I don't think they're gonna do
Please
that.
don't do that. There were 25 comics of just that in Infinity War of doppelgangers.
It's because they don't
and
have the
I hated it.
Skrulls. They can't do it. That's my hope. That's my
And
hope.
you're right, and Chitauri don't shapeshift, do they?
Yeah.
I'd prefer a Skrull War than that.
Oh, absolutely.
But I also think that it'd be a really. I hadn't even thought of this. What if they do use the first part of the part 1 and 2 to end all the contracts, and then have the
Yeah.
opening be the
Very
everyone's
easy.
done,
Yeah.
and then you have the new.
Very easy.
Phase 4 is literally new cast.
Yeah. Yeah, all new Avengers. I mean, in the comics right now, it's a whole new world.
Yeah, the
We
whole
got
new
Miss
Avengers
Marvel,
is
we got
bananas.
Miles, Spider-Man. Like, I love them, by the way.
Yeah,
They're all great.
All the
yeah.
Avengers are great.
A lot of
And
really
Uncanny
fun,
Avengers is
weird
fun.
teams. Yeah.
Mark Waid is killing
Yeah.
it on that
He
book. I
always
love
is,
that
though.
book. Yeah, he's great.
Mark Waid's tops.
Let's move on to Thor Ragnarok, where Tessa Thompson has joined the cast. I
Tessa
think,
Thompson is so good.
yes.
I think that's confirmed. I think that it's confirmed that
Okay.
she
Believe it is.
joined, but it's just not. We
Tessa
don't know.
Thompson is incredible.
Can you help me?
Yeah.
I don't know what she's from. I'm so sorry.
Creed.
Creed.
Oh, see, I haven't seen it
Okay,
yet.
Creed is
Oh.
literally shaping Black
Okay,
Panther.
yeah.
That,
All right,
yeah.
yeah,
It's getting
okay.
co-written by that
Yeah.
guy, directed by that guy.
Okay.
Now she's in the universe. Creed is incredible.
Yeah.
Creed,
Okay.
I saw
I'll
Southpaw.
fix it tonight.
Southpaw
You
I
should.
saw in February. Love Southpaw. Southpaw got re-released. I resaw Southpaw.
right.
Creed came out and I was like, oh my god, boxing this year. Like
Yeah.
Creed is
fix
as
it.
good as Rocky. It's our generation's Rocky. Michael B. Jordan should get every award. That movie is near
Yeah.
perfect. And now that he's involved in Black Panther and she's involved in Black Panther and by way of Thor, thank you.
Yeah. So the rumor
Gotta
just
ask.
broke
She's
on
amazing.
Heroic Hollywood while we've been on the air that she's playing Valkyrie.
Oh, for sure. It's official.
Yes.
It's official.
I
No,
would
it's a
like-
rumor.
okay,
It's
it's
a
a
rumor.
rumor?
It's a total
Okay.
rumor.
Great
But-
character.
Yeah.
So, but the article, I can't remember if it was Variety or Hollywood Reporter, but they said she's playing a love interest for Chris Hemsworth.
Nice.
Right. Because
And that
Natalie's finally getting out.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the character Tessa Thompson will be kind of a superhero and will appear in other Marvel films as well.
That sounds like
Perfect.
Valkyrie.
Yep.
So, and that was my first
Yes.
thought.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
I,
love
bet
it.
she's Valkyrie, and
We
then
have-
like
we have a
Heroic
few
Hollywood's
versions of
like,
Valkyrie,
she might be
too.
Valkyrie, yeah.
So there's the Ultimate Comics Valerie, which was literally just a girl who was like
Yeah.
kind of a fangirl of Thor, and then she got Asgardian power.
I think this is gonna be Brynn
and took
Hill.
over. I hope so.
Yeah, I think
so too.
And by the way, bold choice. I mean, this actress
Yeah.
is African American, correct?
Yeah, so we were just
the
saying.
least Viking
It does-
thing you can
yeah,
be.
But you know,
That's
but
awesome.
we have Heimdall. Like we've already established that
Heimdall,
in
exactly.
Asgard that race doesn't
Race
really
doesn't
matter,
really
and I
matter,
think
yeah.
that's great. And this is Marvel finally saying like, hey, we can do this. So I'm okay with that. I'm because I was also thinking before we got like what she'd be playing. I was like, oh, maybe an Enchantress because I still want
Could be cool.
Enchantress,
I would
man.
love to
I
see
still
Enchantress.
want
so much.
But I would love her as Valkyrie. I think she's a fantastic. I love Valkyrie.
Can we discuss the most important part about Valkyrie?
Yeah.
She rides a Pegasus.
She does ride a Pegasus.
She rides a Pegasus,
Yup.
y'all. We're gonna get a Marvel
So cool.
Pegasus.
I hope so. We better.
would-
She better.
That's the most important part
Yeah.
of the character.
That
I
would
know.
be epic. Yeah.
Yeah, if she-
Anyway,
if it-
that's who she is.
Yeah, she's
She's
awesome.
she's so good. She was so good in Creed, and she's
Yeah.
gorgeous, and
Riding
she's
a
ready for it. I'm so
Pegasus.
excited.
All right. Well, now we're gonna move on to what I would say is your guys' Doctor Strange.
Let's talk. Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Deadpool
For me, Deadpool,
Spider-Man.
Deadpool for me is only the level of love because I don't like where Spider-Man went the last 5 years.
Sure.
I
yeah,
would never
yeah.
have loved Deadpool as much as if the things that you guys like, the Superior Spider-Man, if that hadn't happened, I probably wouldn't have fallen in love with Deadpool. So I'm glad Superior Spider-Man happened only because I discovered Deadpool through the loss of my character dying.
Okay. Wow.
And the thing with me and Coy is that he and I are two sides of the coin in that I'm the problem because they shook up the books
and you were happy
for people like me
I was
who
real
hadn't
mad.
read Spider-Man in years, and I was like, all I like is Bendis's. You got rid of that. Thanks, Jeff Loeb. And so I don't want Spider-Man anymore.
Right.
And then your world got screwed, so that
Just
people like me would come back,
brokenhearted.
and we got Dr. Octopus's Spider-Man, which
Right.
was my favorite storyline I've read in 25 years.
And it was
I think.
my most.
It
I
made you
hated
quit.
it more than Clone Wars.
But
Fair enough.
can we all agree that
Clone Saga.
Spider-Man right now is bad?
Oh
I
God, it's
think
bad.
so.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
awful.
at least
It's
we can all
so
agree.
bad.
I think
so.
Yeah.
Except for the book called Spider-Man by Brian Michael Bendis,
With
which is
Miles
about
Morales.
Miles Morales,
Which is fantastic.
But the
Peter
current,
Hart, yeah.
it's terrible.
terrible.
So I always casually
Yeah.
enjoyed Deadpool until I lost Spider-Man. Now it seems like Spider-Man is coming back by way of Miles Morales, which is amazing, and I
Yeah.
love that character.
Yep.
But the good news is, it seems like they are focusing on the Spider-Man I've always loved for
Yes.
the movie.
Yes.
Tom Holland's Spider-Man is shaping up to be amazing. The title, I think, is real silly.
What?
Yeah,
What?
It's
Can you
the
explain?
Spider-Man Homecoming. That
Is
is
that just
official.
a dig? Is that just a dig? That's got to be a dig.
Ish. I mean, it is a couple. It is a
feels
little,
like
but
a
it
thing.
was an issue. It was a
Yeah.
very famous issue of Spider-Man.
It's 252.
252,
Oh, it is?
yeah.
But that's the thing is, you can't. I don't think they can start with the black suit.
So it was.
they're not going
so
to.
Secret Wars was the giant. And again, I've said this before on the show. Even Secret Wars got me into comics full tilt as a kid.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because all my heroes and were all fighting, and I learned who everyone was and stuff. And that's when he got the symbiote suit. When he came back,
Okay.
that's that iconic cover of him like this in the
Yeah.
black suit. How'd I do?
Yeah, you
It's
get
like-
perfect.
Yeah.
It's dead on. It's dead on.
And it's called
Yeah, there it
Homecoming.
is.
There it is.
There we go.
Oh.
Oh, actually, shoot! I was doing this.
You were
I was
doing
doing
the
the Secret Wars cover.
number 8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you were
an
doing
idiot.
Secret Wars
Oh,
number 8.
No,
yeah,
that was
yeah,
it,
yeah. I've
sorry.
seen that cover.
Where he's not only grabbing one scared guy,
Yeah.
but two scared people from the
So-
original Spidey.
So okay, so now knowing that is okay, but they haven't done Venom.
I would love. Okay, what I want.
Yes,
what I want
Coy?
is I want a trilogy wherein Venom is introduced as Eddie Brock in the first film. We have a villain that could be opening with a throwaway villain because he's already established. You have
Yeah.
a villain that fans love that nobody else would care about, destroyed in the opening, and that way you have your multi-villain thing but handled well. Maybe you get your Shocker, maybe you get your Vulture, which might be Michael Keaton, and then we have a big bad that he has to deal with throughout the film. At the end, Eddie Brock resents Spider-Man for some reason. We don't need to know why. But
Not
there's
the original
yeah.
comic
But-
reason because it's so dumb.
But maybe
yeah.
maybe he gets him fired, like in
Yeah.
the comic. Maybe something happens.
But listen,
So-
they're in high school together. This makes sense. Listen,
so we got
girlfriend.
that. Second
BS,
film,
you know?
we have Eddie Brock. We bring in the symbiote. We have this plot go through. We have Venom and Spider-Man. We have that amazing movie. We don't bring in other characters. We have that go through, and then you have Carnage in the third film, and you have them have to team up. You have a symbiote trilogy, and you have Venom have to team up with Spider-Man begrudgingly. You bring in whatever villains you want. You go through, and everyone's happy.
What, are you talking Shriek? Or
I'm
are you going
talking-
full Venom
Wow.
saga? What do you
I'm
want
saying
here?
that-
You want all the
that-
symbiotes?
Coy just wrote it. Coy just
Yeah.
wrote what everyone
Yeah.
wants.
I'm saying that the second
It
film
means-
is a symbiote
Yeah.
story, and you do it either ultimate or regular. You've got Venom and Eddie Brock, but you've already established the reason they hate each other in the first film, and you have it subtle. That way, you have all the time and all the space in the world to do Carnage in the third film. That's the only way to do it.
The Spider-Man story that grabbed me when I was a kid was Maximum Carnage.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
and the
Mark
Genesis
Bagley
game.
he's crying right now.
Bagley's still great, too.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
It's just.
yeah.
Whenever I talk to Bagley, he always talks about on interviews how much he
Just hated it.
Yeah, he just
But you've
hated
got
her.
Captain
Yeah,
America
it was
in
a
there,
mess.
which we
I
know
know.
we're bringing. That's
Yeah.
the story today. We have
Yeah.
Marvel characters in Spider-Man. You can do these type of
Yes.
stories now. You
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
have that.
Okay, so this is for everyone. and especially you, Coy, what Spider-Man villain do you not need to see again for a while? Like when they did the Andrew Garfield film, were you like, oh boy, Lizard? Like I've never wanted to see Lizard do anything. I don't give a crap about Lizard.
I think Goblin is important to Spider-Man, but I don't think the Green Goblin should be mentioned in the first film because we're so goblined out.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna have to have the Osborns.
That's fine.
But
they still let him do it.
Norman wasn't Green Goblin all the time. He was also Norman Osborn. He was a problem as Norman and a problem as Green Goblin. That's what they've done wrong. They need to keep them has a problem with both.
I don't want Lizard. I agree with you. Well, unless you get Goblin just right, which is the current Goblin, like giant creepy eyelashes, like really messed up Goblin. But I don't know what that is, and I don't think I want it yet either. I can have Sandman. That's fine. I want Doc Ock. I don't want Shocker because he's kind of a punchline villain.
See, that would be the opening for me. That'd be the show how powerful Spider-Man is. Have him take out Shocker,
take
make
out
the
a little
fans
guy.
happy.
Yeah.
And I think I'm done with Electro for a bit.
Yeah.
I think we got that.
Yeah.
I think we're good there.
I think an interesting way to go, and this is a weird way to go, but I also love the mob-based storylines. I'd love to have like Hammerhead. Sorry, Hammer. I'd love to have Hammerhead,
MC Hammer,
Tombstone. You bring in Kingpin.
Yeah, I was
you
gonna say, bring in D'Onofrio, man. That would be great.
Oh God.
And that's how you make the Venom storyline work. Is now in the second film you have to have Spider-Man and Venom team up because he's a lethal protector. He does what Punisher does. He does what you have to do to take out these mob bad guys.
I love you worked in the title Lethal Protector.
I worked in Lethal Protector. I want it so bad.
Well, Ultimate Spidey, the best storyline was the intro was with Kingpin. He was the worst villain because he was just a high school kid who was just trying to do right, and then the biggest crime Kingpin finds out who you are. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a huge issue.
I doubt we're gonna get to D'Onofrio. I wish we would.
Well, you never know. Wants it.
Yeah,
About
of course he wants it.
But you could also bring in Kraven the Hunter would be really cool visually.
We've all been wanting
Kraven.
Yeah, we've all been wanting
and you
Kraven.
get Gerard Butler as the Ultimate one where he's doing a reality show.
That's just it. I want Ultimate Kraven with the punchline at the end. I want that.
We have the Cecil the Lion stuff. I mean, it's really topical right now. I think having Mysterio would be the most visually interesting movie because it'd be very Doctor Strange.
Mysterio is the villain that I want more than anything.
Because you put a kid in a world where it's movie special effects in a movie about movie special effects, and then you're just tripping through layers.
So why don't you tell the audience who Mysterio is very quickly?
So Mysterio is a movie special effects artist who decides to use his special effects prowess to rob, steal, and plunder, and basically every time you deal with this character you don't know what reality is, and there's usually multiple hymns, there's all sorts of wonkiness, and he wears a fishbowl in his head. Real funny. And that character could be fun either as a punchline or as a main villain, and that's what's fun about him. He's got like layers, you got options.
Some of the other ones people have picked, there's Trapster, no. That's Paste Pot Pete to you. And Chameleon, which I'm sorry, but that's like that Zartan in the G.I. Joe movie, that's like a
and that's
too deep of a beat.
And that's like Lizard reject.
Yeah, I like Chameleon a lot, but
Chameleon was
not as a
Spider-Man 1.
All right, Joe Manganiello as Kraven's cool.
Okay,
and Viggo Mortensen.
here's my thing. I think the reason we need to do the Venom Carnage route is that I think we need to go strong. I think we've had so many letdowns with the Spider-Man movies is that we need to do a story that we know is going to be solid, that's going to bring the fans, and that's going to bring non-Spider-Man fans to the theater. Because let's be honest, when you start bringing in like Eddie Brock, you have that like pseudo-military. Well, eventually, he's got that. It's going to bring that level of like the casual viewer into the film, into the movie houses. It's going to be great. Also, if I have to suffer through another Green Goblin, Hobgoblin storyline, I love the Osborns. I think the Osborns, but my favorite thing about especially Harry is I love Eddie, Peter, and Harry's relationship.
Yes.
I love that. I love that when you bring Gwen. I love when you bring Mary Jane into that. Even
and the legacy of Norman.
Yeah, and the legacy of Norman. And there's a couple of the other girlfriends that that they all kind of date. There's a couple other
Liz Allen and stuff. Yeah.
I think there's so many other potential for relationship building that. One of the things the Spider-Man movies have always tried to do is that you have these kids who have relationship issues, not just like romantic relationship, but interpersonal relationship issues, the day-to-day slice of life stuff while dealing with being superheroes. That's something I've loved about the Spider-Man comic books. They've always been very good about that. It's always failed in the films. I think we could do that very well. I think we can tell a great story about people in this one person who has to deal with his powers in relationship to his family and his friends.
Yeah,
and I want to see that told.
What I think you could do with Venom is they're having a kid in high school, and what's more high school than having like the pathos and upsetness of being this darkness. So you have Spider-Man introduced, and you have your solo Venom movie, and you do all the Venom stuff you want separately, but you make it in the Spider-Man universe, which they said they're not doing, but you can do it so easily.
Also, guys, where does the Venom suit come back from? where does
Because there's no Secret Wars, you
No.
mean? You could go the ultimate route where it's not from space.
No. I'm asking in the comic books.
Oh.
Where does the suit come back from?
Well, it's a two-part answer, but when they're on Secret Wars, there's a magic machine at the end that remakes their costumes and fixes Cap's shield.
Spidey presses
and
the
Spider
button.
gets in it, and he's like, "Hey, cool! Does your
What
costume do this?" And they're
world?
like, "No."
What world are they on?
War World was separate planets, all broken up, and they all came back
Battle
together.
World, right?
Yes, so
Battle
Battle
World's
World.
the new one,
So Battle World. So the planet is named in the new Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sorry, I don't remember off the top of my head the comic, not the movie, because they go back and they fix his suit. They meet all the other aliens.
What if
there.
they are on Sakaar?
Okay,
Or am I saying it right?
What the planet Sakaar?
The planet Sakaar
from Agents of Shield.
No, that's Navic.
from World
Sakaar
War
was,
World War Hulk.
Planet Hulk.
Oh God! Oh
Planet
man!
Hulk.
You want to pull Hulk in this? Hell yeah!
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm building a web. What if the rumor? It's a very loose rumor because I don't even know if they've scripted anything from Thor yet. But there is rumor that there's going to be some crazy stuff happening
We'll tie it together.
with tying that together. What if that Venom entity comes back?
Why not?
And we
That's the way to
build
do
and
it.
we build it slow because
Yeah.
the first movie needs to be the high school film. The first movie needs to be the Breakfast Club. The first movie needs to be all about relationships because you do not care about Venom if you don't care about Spider-Man. You don't care about Venom if you don't care about what could happen if Spider-Man goes dark. You need to care about Tom Holland's Spider-Man, so you can't do it in the first film. But Eddie Brock can be introduced, and the second film can go there, and then the Venom spin-off film totally can exist, and then you can make Carnage the third,
Yep.
which is
All right, we've got a skibbity bop.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
sorry.
Sorry.
We're
It's
still
just a
talking about
dream.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing on the Venom thing real quick? What I love about this idea is that it gives the possibility that in 10 years you can do an Agent Venom war movie
Yes.
in like
Yes.
Iraq or Afghanistan or
Yes.
anything where Flash
Oh
comes
God!
in.
Everyone would watch
you,
that.
you have
Yeah.
a Venom legacy film.
Black
all
Hawk
there.
Down with Venom. Yeah.
Why make it a film? Just give me that Netflix series.
Yeah, 13 hours.
In the
Yeah.
article we're talking about in 2 seconds, I promise. Russo jokes and says that all the universes are together now, and he says, and I quote regarding Spider-Man, he's in the universe now, and the fun of the universe is that characters go back and forth. Let's just say Great Lakes Avengers. He was joking, and that's not funny, dude.
No, that's
That's
not
not
funny
funny because
don't-
Amy Schumer needs to be Squirrel Girl immediately.
Don't
and
tease that.
Don't tease me.
Don't tease that.
You bring the Great Lakes Avengers. It's not a joke. They're one of the best teams in the Marvel universe, and Squirrel Girl is the most powerful character you have, and she needs to be Amy Schumer. Don't toy with me, man.
She
my
kicked
God,
the
Amy Schumer's
She won.
Squirrel
She
Girl.
was
She's Squirrel Girl.
fantastic.
That would be
Right?
amazing.
She has the
she beat
teeth. She's
Galactus.
hilarious. She's perfect.
Yep.
Don't toy with me. This
Wow.
needs to happen. Okay.
All right, let's
All right.
move
So move on now.
Michael
My heart.
Keaton is in talks to be a villain. Not the villain.
Right.
A villain.
Right.
He's very specific. A villain, not
Well,
the
J.
villain.
Jonah Jameson's a villain, right? Technically, he's an antagonist to
Technically.
Peter Parker and
wanna see-
Spider-Man.
I want to
Technically.
see Michael Keaton as J. Jonah Jameson
I
more
know.
than anything.
I mean, look at that. Look at that. You can just make that a mustache. They're probably going to make him the Vulture, and that's going to be dumb.
Give me pictures of Spider-Man. Spotlight, best picture.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like we just had it. It'd be so.
I
I'm
know.
all about it.
Yeah, that'll be Keaton. He'll probably be Vulture.
I don't want that. I don't want
Geriatric
Vulture,
villain.
man. He's so dumb.
Yeah.
Can you really do him in another bird costume?
Oh God! They'll just give him the same
I
Birdman
know.
costume.
I know.
That was my thought. I was like, don't make him
So
Vulture.
lazy.
That's so
I
weird.
don't want
yeah,
that.
That's just lazy casting.
No, I don't want that.
In the comics, admittedly, Vulture's really interesting now because he's mind controlling children
Yeah,
and putting them
that's a
in
little
Vulture
creepy.
costumes.
That's
super
kind of
creepy.
I don't.
Well, and he's psychotic. Like, he's a ruthless
Mm-hmm.
killer. He's like, I'm an old man, and get off my lawn. Murder, murder, murder.
And remember, the
Like,
problem with Spider-Man and Vultures is Spider-Man can never actually put him away because he
Yeah.
reminds him of his Uncle Ben. Spider-Man can't hit old
Can't
people.
hit him,
That's
he's
his
an old
weakness.
dude. Yeah, that's
his
what he was-
kryptonite
I
is
can't
punching
find
old
Vulture 'cause he's an
people.
old man.
I don't want
Which is,
that.
I mean, everyone should have that kryptonite
yeah,
probably,
but-
but yeah.
I just want. I want him as J. Jonah.
And Vulture
Yeah.
always gets out of prison because he's like, I need these things to
Yeah.
build a thing.
Right.
Trust me, I'm old.
Yeah.
Builds Vulture thing
yeah,
flies out.
I hope Vulture's not in it. He might be. But if he's not Vulture and he's not J. Jonah Jameson, Silvermane? Michael Keaton is Silvermane?
Sure.
Or,
That's
or,
random.
To go.
Or
It's kind of like
the guy
having
who
Ironmonger
created
and Iron Man, sure.
The
Spider
guy who
Slayer
created the
villain?
Spider Slayers, yeah.
No, let's be honest, guys.
Smite.
He's going to be an
Yeah.
Osborn. Let's just be honest. We're just going to get that story all over again.
You know, I don't think we'll go there. I mean, they might,
not.
but and Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn in high school really important, and Harry Osborn's drug addiction would be
Yeah.
a really interesting way to go.
Well-
All that stuff would be great, but I don't think they'll do it again.
I think they'll have Norman at some point, so it wouldn't be a hard sell to introduce Norman. We don't necessarily need Goblin, but
Right.
go on.
Keaton is going to be Beetlejuice again. Confirmed?
Yes.
Keep that in your head.
Okay.
Kraven the Hunter. Michael Keaton is Kraven the Hunter. Giant mustache. I'm hunting some animals.
And some crazy hair.
Sure.
As a-
Sure, he's
as
got a
like a-
giant lion face. Michael Keaton is Kraven the Hunter.
As like a joke or like
No, just for real, I want
watched
that.
the crap out of that.
I
I
would.
wanted to be
I'd be okay
Kraven.
with that.
He's the reality star from
Yes.
the Ultimate
You
version.
may have lost me.
Why
No,
not?
I want it.
I see Vigo.
I
I
love
see
it.
Gerard
He's
Butler.
like Rupert Murdoch, basically.
I want that. That's so dumb. I want it.
I want these movies to be good.
All right.
Okay, we got
Sorry,
yes.
Jack. I
Yes,
knew
I'm
you
sorry.
All right,
I
all right.
sidetracked us. That was all my fault.
We're gonna jump to Iron Fist real quick, where we learned that David Winham has been cast as Harold Meacham.
Who? What?
I don't know.
I don't know
to be
either
honest.
of those names.
So in the very first appearance of Iron Fist, he is on a hike. Like not a hike, like a trip, a giant trip into the Kunlun Mountains, which are kind of like the Himalayas in the Marvel universe. And Harold Meacham is Danny Rand's dad, Wendell Rand. It's his business partner. So the corporation that Danny Rand's dad has is called Rand and Meacham.
Okay. This sounds like Ironmonger from the Iron Man movie. Go on.
It is a bit. It is a bit. So they're on this hike. Wendell Rand, Iron Fist's dad, is actually from Kunlun. Like, he studied in Kunlun. And he's trying to go back because they only appear once every decade, once every 10 years. So like little bitty 9-year-old Danny Rand is on this giant excursion with his mom, dad, and dad's business partner.
Okay.
Dad's business partner, Harold Meacham, wants to take over the country and is not the country, the company, and is secretly in love with Danny Rand's mom, Heather Rand. So he kills his dad, kills Wendell Rand by throwing him off a cliff right there.
Wow.
Like, just drops him.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Then he's like, Heather, I love you. And she's like, you're a monster. And he's like, whatever. And then like they run away from him because of what just happened.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, well, screw you. And wolves actually attack and kill Danny Rand's mom as they approach the gate to
Rude.
Kunlun.
Wow.
They see Kunlun and they're like, safety, and they run away.
And wolves.
Mountain wolves are running, and she's like, go on, go on, go on. And the wolves attack her. She basically sacrifices herself. She like Lily Potters herself, and Danny Rand is able to get into Kunlun right as it disappears, and then he's stuck in Kunlun for 10 years, and that's how he becomes the Iron Fist.
I wonder if they're gonna have wolves.
Right? Probably not.
It's Jeff
Maybe.
Bridges'
Wow,
character
guys,
in Iron Man.
Yeah,
I am
but then,
so sold on this.
Yeah.
When Harold Meacham, like he actually gets hurt trying to get back out of the mountains, ends up in a village where they amputate both of his legs due to frostbite. He's now an amputee. He also, while he's down there, finds out that Danny Rand is still alive. And he's like, oh, he made it to Kunlun? Ooh,
my bad.
Screw me.
Oops, my daisies.
I'm screwed in 10 years.
Yep.
So he goes back and sets
He's
up
got some time.
like and starts
Hanging
like
out, yeah.
but he bides his time over those 10 years preparing for Danny Rand's eventual return, knowing what Danny Rand will be able to do.
Interesting.
This guy looks very young.
Does he get robo legs?
No, well, not in the comics.
And who's the actor? David Wenham?
David
Wenham.
Wenham.
He
He
was-
looks very young.
he was
Well, he was in
from-
Lord of the Rings.
He was Faramir in Lord of the Rings, and he was the dude with the eye patch and 300.
So
That's the
he
only
looks
two I know.
young, but he's been around a
Yeah,
while.
you know, he's
It's been a
born in
while, yeah.
65, 64, 65.
Wow, he looks great.
What?
Good
Yeah,
for
no, he
you,
looks
man.
real good.
Oh, he
He's an
moisturizes.
attractive individual.
Dude.
Dude, I want to look like you before you
I
back.
know.
Good on you, man.
So, but yeah, when Danny Rand returns, it's to a very weakened Harold Meacham who is still trying to defend his empire, and that's where his daughter Joy Meacham will probably come into play. She'll be like, "Well, I'll defend the empire, Dad," and then he ends up.
Do they fall in love with each other? Is there like a Romeo and Juliet story?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's Harold Meacham.
So he's probably your bad guy.
He will be one of the bad guys.
Yeah.
I would imagine they'll also have like Davos, the Steel Serpent, and
It'll be like, you know, Jessica Jones and Daredevil, where we have options.
Yeah.
Like
And
13
I
hours.
honestly think they may take a page out of Immortal Iron Fist by Fraction and have like Davos and a couple other individuals trying to find a way to break into Kunlun and take it over and stuff like that, and maybe even like the whole like 7 cities tournament and stuff like that.
Betsy in the live chat said, "Oh, that guy, the Friar from Van Helsing. If there's
Oh.
one movie I haven't thought about
my
in
God.
15 years, it's Van
That's-
Helsing."
God.
That's a thing to
All right, we
think
got
about.
a skibbity bop.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. Well done, sir. Wolverine 3 is rumored to be set in the future, not confirmed, but that just continues to
That news
go
we
along
bring?
with the Old Man Logan.
Old Man
that was
Logan,
on
yeah.
our show, yeah. Also, Boyd Holbrook. I know nothing about him except that he was in Narcos, which I haven't seen. He is to play the lead villain.
Oh,
in
I just
Wolverine.
heard this to play the lead. Well, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
Wolverine's
No,
the
yeah,
lead.
sorry, I didn't write that right.
He was great in Narcos. I can't say that. I don't know what else to say on that.
He is described as a relentless, calculating, and intense head of security for a global enterprise who is set against Jackman's Claude Wolverine Logan.
I mean, do you think it's going to be Days of Future Past Future or Old Man Logan Future?
Old Man Logan Future.
Old Man Logan Future, we've never actually seen as its. I mean, it is its own comic, but that
Yeah.
future is a one-note beat of like this really bad thing happened, and that's all we know and all we really need to know. So
This guy's my age.
I mean, and sorry, to better explain, Old Man Logan, the comic book, had a lot of beats. It was a lot of Marvel Universe jokes. There were a lot of like Spider-Man jokes and Rick Jones jokes and things like that. So without that whole world, I don't know where that goes.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've mentioned that
Yeah.
before in a few interviews, saying that they can make it and fill it with the Fox-owned characters and supplement. I think that if they go Old Man Logan, he'd be a really cool like Hulkling. Because the way he looks, I think, as like one of the country bumpkin, like messed up Hulk sons.
yeah, but that's not going to be a lead villain.
But he can't be Hulk.
Head of security, global, and he can't be Hulk.
Yeah,
I don't
Wolvie can't
know.
cross over with Hulk.
That's all I thought.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea.
I got nothing.
I think he's probably going to be like not a comic book character, is my guess.
Or they'll pull someone and rework him.
But I mean, he could be a great. I mean, he doesn't look like him and he doesn't have the vibe of him. But I'd love Omega Red.
Oh yeah, I'd always like an Omega Red
my
anyway.
God.
But you're right, he would be great
Right?
as Omega Red. Yeah,
Like,
he would be.
Just
Yeah.
the long
why
hair.
not, though?
Yeah, right.
I have a feeling the story's going to be all over the place anyway. So yeah,
Yeah,
give us Omega Red.
I'd go Omega Red.
Yes.
We won't get him otherwise.
Or Maverick.
Sure.
No,
Head of security.
not?
Yeah, Maverick. Oh my
Maverick.
god. All right, let's move on.
They came out at the same time. You can't make fun of one and leave the other one.
Dude, no, Omega Red's awesome. Maverick, no, okay, he's cool. Tim,
Omega
Fox,
Red's he beat all the X-Men. Wolverine
Skip it
had
up!
Omega Red.
Oh my god.
Go on.
Tim Miller and Simon Kinberg would love to do a crossover with Marvel Studios. This is the first time this has ever really been acknowledged. The higher ups at Fox will probably never ever
But
let
the
that happen.
directors can like it.
But the directors and like Simon
right,
Kinberg,
yeah.
who's like one of the main architects of everything going on over there, both love it. Tim Miller said, "I would love to someday, in part, heal the rift between the world of X-Men and the world of the Avengers." In fact, he had Feige's famous pizza in Deadpool, which I didn't
Yeah.
see, but like apparently he put that in there just for that.
That's nice.
And then Kinberg says, both of us, meaning he and Tim Miller, are actually quite close with Kevin and have a profound amount of respect for what he does, and it would be fun to all team up one day somehow together if that could work. So that would be cool.
Day.
Don't think it'll ever happen.
Nope.
But with stuff like Sony and Spider-Man happening, and like
We never thought that would happen. We never thought that would happen. Well, the X-Men
So-
movies need to start bombing, and thanks to Deadpool,
Yeah.
they're doing okay now, so they don't need to
But
do
we don't.
anything.
Maybe, but maybe their success will actually open more doors because.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And we just want to throw this out there real quick. Captain America: Civil War. All the reviews are still like as of me putting this rundown together. 15 reviews had come in, and it was 100%.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
On Rotten
That's
Tomatoes.
exciting.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the cast has been doing Kimmel, as you saw. You got to see
Yeah.
Cumberbatch, but on Monday it was Team Cap, and on Wednesday it was Team Iron Man. They're adorable, by the way. Like, if they
they're
weren't
so
lovable
fresh.
enough, just quick notes is that they did a contest of like, how much do you know about your castmates on Monday? And like Sebastian Stan, Bucky, discusses openly that he's in therapy, like just whatever. Like he's
really?
talking about
That's
how he's
awesome.
on the phone
On
with his
his phone,
therapist,
yeah.
and he saw Paul Rudd and ignored him. And then he also speaks Romanian. And then one of the questions was, which of your cast members knows all of the songs to a Disney film? And it was Chris Evans, and he's like, technically 5 of them. Like, he knows all the words to every song in Little Mermaid.
Like,
Like,
is Captain America. That man is Steve Rogers.
He's so
how
cute.
right? Like, they're
So
adorable.
cute.
I
That's so
love these
awesome.
people.
Yeah.
All of them. They're adorable.
They all seem like they're like legitimately
They're
very
great.
good
Yeah.
friends.
And Team
Yeah.
Iron Man Day on Wednesday was a little more like standoffish because he was just basically being Tony the whole time,
Yeah.
and they're all just kind of being dicks
But
to
that's
each other.
also just
so it was even, it was him and
RDJ,
Rhodey
yeah.
just fighting each other and
my
having fun.
gosh.
It was perfect.
It's
It was
that's great.
absolutely perfect.
Team Cap, Team Iron Man, like whoever.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hilarious. Yeah.
So yeah, we know it's good. Like all the reviews are good. Everything is like you can tell it's good because Marvel's like, yeah, no, you can. No, it's a month out. Yeah,
I
just
know
watch it.
that's the
go.
worst
See it,
part.
talk about it.
That's
Yeah.
actually the worst part is to do it 3 weeks out. Is that now we're just the rest of us are just like, can you just like air it next week? Just go ahead, just guys give it to
But
us.
and
pay you.
I very much hate to bring this up, but like Dawn of Justice did the opposite of that.
Yes.
I know.
You know, and like that's
But they
like
knew.
when
That's why
they
they
knew.
knew.
that's what I'm saying. I'm
Let's
making
keep
a
it fair. Let's
juxtaposition
keep it
here.
fair. Age of Ultron waited. Let's keep it Marvel. Age
they?
of Ultron.
yeah.
But they didn't.
It
put
was
a
like 2 weeks
moratorium.
before. They put it
didn't
like 2
put
weeks
a-
before. This is like a month
Did
before.
Yeah, but
I
they
didn't remember them putting a press.
didn't
moratorium.
put a press moratorium like that. No, they did not.
But they didn't show it until closer to the movie
Yeah,
release.
but
I'm
they,
saying they're
yeah.
more confident.
No, but the thing with Dawn of Justice is that all of us who saw the film, we couldn't talk about it until 2 hours before
Right.
it
Yeah,
showed.
there was like a review
Yeah,
moratorium.
I still won't talk about it.
I'm just saying I got paid to say what I thought
Suicide
about that
Squad
movie.
looks bomb.
Dude,
Suicide
that movie
Squad
looks
looks
so
amazing.
amazing. I can't wait. I love Harley Quinn all
Let's
over
stay
again.
positive.
No,
And
I'm
let me
so
just
excited
say,
about
like,
that.
I waited a couple weeks to go see Dawn of Justice. I let all the bad negativity wash over me, and then I went and I
Hey,
legitimately enjoyed the film. I was like,
you
this
know
is a fun
what?
movie.
I'm gonna
Like,
say-
and I cheered for Wonder Woman. I
I'm gonna-
literally cheered in the theater.
I'm going to say this. That movie was not meant for reviewers. For all the people who sit there and said, oh man, the reviewers are wrong. Exactly. That movie was not made for us. That movie was made for all of you who liked it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Remember
you
that
know?
Wonder Woman moment when they cast Captain Marvel, because if they cast someone who is not buff, everyone's
Yeah.
gonna freak out. But Gal Gadot showed us she can be Wonder Woman, right?
Guys,
so let's all
she's
remember
great.
that
You
whenever they
can
cast
work
Captain Marvel.
out.
Yeah, so remember that when that happens.
There's things called bulking. Look at how
Yeah.
tiny I am.
Except Amy
Been
Adams
waiting
as
here for
anyone in a
now.
comic book movie has never worked. But yeah,
Skip
it's
it
just-
up.
Okay.
Sorry, no,
Guys.
it's
That a host has wandered off the subject.
no one wandered off the subject.
Shut up, Doom. Doom.
Charlie Cox confirmed that Defender starts filming this year, which means that it's probably going to come out next year.
Yes.
So it's more than likely. I think Iron Fist starts in the summer. Defenders will start after that. So it's most likely going to be Luke Cage, then Iron Fist, then Defenders.
You know what that means? Daredevil season 3 is a long time away.
A long
But
time
we're
away,
still
my
gonna
friend.
get Daredevil.
No,
So
man,
he's a
it's
Defender.
not.
It's
Don't
okay,
worry.
buddy.
It's
But I want
not
him
that.
back.
I know.
I miss
He'll be
him.
hanging out with
You
our
know,
other buddies.
How much,
The
do you,
show's so good.
how much do you want Daredevil, or how much do you want Punisher back? I want Punisher.
I want both.
I
Yeah.
really want.
Daredevil is so good.
I know.
I rewatched it. I've watched season 2 twice now, and it's only been out for like 4 weeks because
Dude,
I'm an insane.
I
person.
have to be straight up. I was actually going to come back on the show earlier, but you guys were going to talk Daredevil, and I hadn't finished watching it.
You're like,
And I'm like, I can't
Nope,
because
nope.
I was doing the reviews on What the Flick, and I'm like, I can't. I wasn't ready. Also, I have to say, I got the chance to talk with John Bernthal. We were on the Twitch stage at Emerald City Comic Con this past weekend. That man is intense. But I cracked him, guys. So at one point, I lean over and I was like, "So, did you like kill your family to prep for this role?" And if you guys know anything about him, his
did.
family is very like that is important to him. And he just like he's like, "I can't believe you just asked that question." And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And did you? And he's like, well, "No, I didn't. I did go into seclusion for 6 weeks though to prep." And I was like, man, that's really intense. That's some crazy stuff. But he did tell us a really great story. It was really sweet. Apparently, his first like speaking role on camera was it was a soap opera. It was like Days of Our Lives, one of those two. And he was playing a technical director on like a TV news set. And he's like, oh, I got to say 3, 2. They didn't let me say 1, man. It was my first role. I got to, he was smiling. He was funny. He was so charming. Because he is a method actor. John Bernthal lives that role. He gets so into that headspace. So I was a little worried because I was like, what is he? Is he currently filming something? Who am I going to be talking to? Because it's not going to be John, you know. But it was great.
He killed it.
Yeah, it was great to pull him out of that
He was
moment.
so perfect
But
for
he
that.
was. I loved him. I loved
perfect.
him, and I want a Punisher series.
I think
Anyways,
we'll
I
get
just
one.
had
I
to
think
let
we'll
it
get
slip.
one. So the exact quote that Charlie Cox has is, "We now know that Marvel is looking at this fall, more specifically a late August to October window, to bring together all 4 street-level superheroes."
Cool.
That's
So,
awesome.
Doom! Do you want to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. very quickly?
Oh man, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week. Oh, they're gearing up to just give us a big old treat.
Oh yeah.
By gearing up, you mean dragging their feet as long as they can and doing nothing until a movie comes out.
I mean, they're
Yeah, I'm watching it too.
even Feige. Well, some of the other news around Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week is Feige. He talked about the potential of a TV crossover, and he basically talked about how the TV shows and the movies handcuff each other when they affect each other. And S.H.I.E.L.D. is sort of the biggest example of that because they are the ones that are expected to cross over into any Avengers territory, at least a little bit. That's clearly one way. And even he basically says it's just finding the right time and the right place to do it. So he's not shutting the door, but he is saying not anytime.
The schedule's
soon.
tricky.
The absence of Coulson
Yeah.
in Cap 2 was noted and weird. They made the storyline in
Yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D. that's how the helicarrier got there, but they never actually showed him in the
I
film
don't
in a
like
moment that
that.
was clearly
Well, that
revealed
was
for Coulson.
Age of Ultron, you mean?
No. In Cap 2 when the helicarrier.
Winter
Wait,
Soldier?
am I wrong?
That's
Yeah.
Ultron.
That's Age of
I
Ultron.
apologize. Yes, Age of Ultron. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. But it was weird. It was a missing piece that was clearly
Yeah.
supposed to be him. Go on.
It was cool. It would have been more full circle had
Yes.
you seen something from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But Coulson, I understand them not wanting him to be involved because it muddies the water for anybody not seeing S.H.I.E.L.D.
Sure.
well, and also they don't know he's not dead.
Yeah, but this week on S.H.I.E.L.D. we got the Gideon Malik from the first Avengers film revealing a Hydra religion of sorts.
What?
And
No,
It's all based on a space octopus. It's a whole thing.
What? Really?
Well, the
they're
space-
Scientologists?
The
Cthulhu?
space, they,
This is so dumb.
well, the space octopus being Hive, and they showed they revealed the back of his head, and it
Back of
looks
his head, yeah.
awesome.
I'm sure
I
it
want them to
does.
spin around so we can actually see his face.
Not yet. It's Dr. Claw. Second Inspector
the
Gadget
thing
reference.
about Hydra is there's no religion.
But there is in this.
Well, they revealed basically that there are different factions within Hydra that want that
right,
Malik it represents this more religious, inhuman worshipping Hydra versus the Whitehall and Red Skull Hydra, which
is the more scientific. Yeah.
technology based
All right, I'll buy
one
that.
we're familiar with. It looked. I think we met Hellfire.
I think so.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
We almost missed it on the after show. Well, we did, and then I had to have egg on my face all week. But yeah, that we met a demolitions expert named James, who really, really wants to be an Inhuman, but they won't give him the fish oil.
Fish oil.
But yeah, we talk about that and a whole lot more, and you can see the whole review over on AfterBuzz TV on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. After Show, which will be live again on Tuesday at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, talking about next week's episode where the Secret Warriors are assembling.
Finally.
Doom, I have a nerdy note that you may not know. On Daredevil, you know the biker gang, the Dogs from Hell that Foggy was trying to work with? That is originally from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Lorelei episode. That was the first biker gang that she started controlling them.
And we
So it's
went
not-
into that at length.
Oh, excuse
on
me.
the Daredevil
Excuse me.
After
Very well,
Show.
very well. Just want to make sure everyone knew
Well,
that.
I'm
I thought that
proud
was
of you,
nerdy and
Jack.
cool. Yeah.
I think you're nerdy
That's
and
their
cool.
own inner crossover, not
Yeah.
even in the comics.
Yeah, I think that's cool. All right, let's do some shout outs.
Shout outs?
It's time.
Go for it first. I'm pulling them up.
We've got at Skyleia, Eva. It's always a joy to watch at the Matt Key losing it over Doctor Strange. I should probably watch the live show this week. I hope you did.
Yay.
I hope you did.
Maybe you're here.
I want to give this one out.
Go for it.
Corey Adams at YRock 2010. Thanks for watching live for your first time.
Yeah, watching a live show for the
appreciate
first
that,
time.
man.
And going along with that, we've also got let's see. Alyssa Trujillo is finally getting to watch a live show. Welcome! You finally got to watch it. Woo! Also, we have Soma at Soma79.com. Hi, any way you could show my own art on the show? Thanks. Sure, here it is. Go ahead and show that, Doom.
So cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't remember the exact thing that he told me, but he said it took him like hours and hours and
bet.
hours to create it, and it's actually like a really big piece.
Oh, that's so neat.
Awesome.
There you go. We shouted
Good
it
job,
out.
man.
It's beautiful and it's amazing. You're more talented than I could ever hope to be. Also, JJ Johnson at Actor J says, "Can I get a break a leg shout out? The show opens tonight. We'll miss the live broadcast, so he's missing this." But he's doing, I believe, Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh, man.
The show is
Good.
tonight. Break a leg, dude.
Yeah.
Coy, tell this man, you're an actor. Tell him to
dude.
break a leg.
Break a leg. That's exciting. It's a great play. Kill it.
Can you give him a sexy break a leg?
What's his name?
JJ Johnson.
JJ Johnson. I'd like to see you right under that rainbow dream coat. Break a leg.
I'm getting the...
See more every
Oh, my
time.
God, getting the baby goes.
There's no level of creepy I haven't found a way to surmount. Surmount.
Real quick, Bill Schwinson at Bill Schwinson says, "I haven't read a comic book since I was 10. Today I started the 2015 line of Doctor Strange. He's now all I want to read. hashtag teach me."
Yes.
Dude, that's sick.
You picked a
And
great choice.
We've actually got a lot of people who have tweeted that out at us. Like that was like the first one that I saw, and I didn't have time to pull a lot more. But Bill, thank you for reading that. I hope you're enjoying it. And if you want more suggestions, watch our show and ask us.
Yeah.
And we'll give them. I would also like to Langley Neely at Langley M Neely, who's one of our
Langley.
Yeah,
He's one
Langley,
of our
what's up?
favorites. Reading Doctor Strange Season 1 on Marvel Unlimited. Good choice. Is this story you mentioned where Strange and Wong are rivals? Yes. Yeah, they're rivals in that story. I think Baron Mordo is actually in that story also as a good guy.
Huh?
I don't remember.
I like that.
I don't remember.
It switches
but
things up.
It's Season 1. It's one of those like kind of like alternate universe Season 1 sort of things. Adrian Shawcraft asked a question: With no Storm, will Black Panther have a love interest?
That Storm thing was so shoehorned in the comics.
know.
So yeah,
It was.
we don't need that.
I don't
know.
I don't need a love interest for everyone. I'm just,
He's
know.
a king, man.
I'm sure they'll put someone in, but does everyone need to have a
And
pairing?
he's also got like the Dora Milaje. Is that how you say
I
it?
don't know how to say it either, but he
Yeah.
has an elite team of female assassins that protect him at all times. They're a secret service, and they're smarter than everyone. And he's always they wouldn't let a woman get close enough for him to have a
It's true.
girlfriend.
Yeah. All right. We've got to super wrap it up. Wesley Potter at Dostorchorino. I honestly can't. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Dostorchono.
He had like some some physics knowledge that he was just like murder. Like he was talking about the Doctor Strange trailer and like Einstein and all this other stuff. Like
Science.
go read. Like it's like 20 tweets of just like physics, and I was just like, oh my god, this is more confusing than Doctor Strange. Like this is amazing. And we want Marvel movie fan asked, what did you not like about the trailer? I wish that I had heard Hori Host of Hoggoth or seen a little bit of magic. Just a little bit. I know that that's coming, but if I'm being honest, I was like, I would have liked to have seen a hint of it.
Okay.
But I also had him ascending the stairs up to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to the Seal of the Vishanti, and the
Great
Window
plug
of the
at the
Worlds.
end.
So it's hard for me to say anything about that.
Fair enough.
Do you guys have any answers to that, or do we need to move on?
Okay, just that the juxtaposition where we have the facial hair and the not facial hair, I'm like, it pulled me out every time because I just saw Benedict Cumberbatch and I didn't see Doctor Strange. That's
Interesting.
that
Okay.
was just my biggest complaint, because you see so much Benedict Cumberbatch. Like that.
Yeah.
That's just it. That was just it.
I mean, they're quibbles. There's
I
nothing
know.
I didn't really
It's not
like.
it's not a weird. It's just weird. I'm like, I was just like, oh, that's just weird.
Yeah.
It just didn't have enough Deadpool in it for me.
Oh,
I really,
You have some iTunes. We've got to wrap it up.
I got him. Ian Tulland, another one. Thank you, sir. Mr. Poop Magoo. His thing was Mr. Poop Magoo request shout out, and I respect that indubitably. Addicting 1010010010110.
Stop.
Hey, he wanted a shout out. That's his name.
All right, you get a shout out.
and
oh my god. It's
Mr.
amazing.
Blake Carver has been.
Blake Carver!
He's been. We've known him for quite some time with the live chat and the Twitter and stuff. And thank you, sir. Doombots on Twitter, Mr. Blake Carver, and Mitch MRI left one just today. So thank you for saying we're professional quality.
Oh.
We feel very fancy.
Because I've been
Last
gone.
week there was a guy who said that we were immature and he didn't
Well,
like us.
this
So
week on
feels
April,
good.
yesterday, April 13th, Bradness 2010 said, quote, another miserable podcast of annoying people laughing at their own jokes and lame impressions. Unlistenable. So,
well,
Thanks for taking the time,
Yeah, I
bro.
appreciate that.
We are at war.
we're not at war with you. You're allowed your opinions.
I'm at
yeah,
war with
man.
Even though he's not listening to us.
Yeah, 'cause we're
he hates us.
unlistenable, in
I'm
fact,
hashtag
so-
team
You know what
Coy.
though? He'll probably be listening though, just to tell us again how
That's
bad
true.
we suck.
Please,
so.
please
Probably
let
so.
me know how awful I am, Brad.
Brad, I thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it.
Matt appreciates you. We don't.
You know what? I want to say real quick, by the way, thank you for everyone who I've gotten like so many messages welcoming me back, and that makes me so happy. And the two people who tweeted me saying "F you," I thought you were never going to come back. I came back just for you specifically.
All right, we've got to super duper wrap it up.
Okay.
Where can we find you?
You can find me on Punch Drunk TV. I'll actually be live Facebooking. What's it called on Facebook? Facebook Live tonight on our Punch Drunk TV site, and then you can find us on iTunes at any times. Just so you know, on the hashtag Team Coy versus hashtag Team Matt, I am hashtag Team Coy. Sorry.
I get it. No, I totally get it. I
don't know what side Meredith is on, but that's
fine.
my side
That's
on the
fine.
Civil War.
That's fine. Coy, anything?
I want to shout out to Rob Nips because she's had a rough couple weeks, and Rob Nips is awesome.
Rob
She-
Nips is the
Rob
best!
Nips is
She's
the
another Hall of
best.
Famer. And you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter. I'm trying to use Instagram more, at Coyjandreau, CoyJandreau. I give crap to people that give me crap. I don't hate you, Brad. I love everybody. You're all amazing. Thank you for watching, regardless of how much you like watching.
Meredith, go!
Guys, I got a couple things. Please head on over to youtube.com/ReadPopOfficial. Check out what I've been doing over there. I've been at C2E2 and Emerald City Comic Con doing some amazing stuff for them. So please go watch those videos, like them, because I want to keep doing more stuff for them. It's been awesome. Also, go check out me on What the Flick. I've been doing review shows for them. Better Call Saul. Wrapped up their Daredevil stuff. Got a lot more coming out. And also, I'm doing some really cool stuff with Channel Frederator on their leaderboard channel. So you can check that out on YouTube. You can hear my voice and see my face and read my word or hear my words. All very stuff. That's why I've been gone. I'm so sorry. I've been gone for the last 2 months, but I'm back. We're working on making a schedule because these nice guys are willing to change their schedule for me, and I told them they didn't have to. But
We're
I
working
guess
on it.
you guys
We're
are
gonna
nice.
figure it out.
I
We don't
appreciate
wanna
it.
lose you.
But yeah, love you and Flacco.
You can find me at Fat Man on Batman, where I produce that show. I'm actually going to be on the show that's coming out on next Wednesday, talking about Doctor Strange. And I got a couple other things I can't talk about just yet. But yeah, okay. Anyway, at the Matt Key, you can find me there, and you can ask me all sorts of Doctor Strange questions. I would also like to welcome our soon-to-be overlords, the Benedict Cumberbatch fans. Have all been very nice. Thank you for tweeting at
I
us
love the
and
Cumberbatch ladies.
being very involved and wanting to know who Doctor Strange is and everything. That's
Nice.
We welcome you to our Marvel, our sweet
Yeah.
Marvel.
It's a good world.
So, all right, we've got to shut up. Special thanks to our social media managers, Colt Badeau,
Colt
the
Badeau,
unofficial
Colt Badeau.
fifth chair. You can also find all of these stories and all the pictures on an article I wrote for GeekGirlAuthority.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our show on iTunes and on YouTube. We're the Marvel Movie News. Rate us, leave us a comment, and we'll read it out. Bad, good, whatever. We'll talk about it.
I like them all.
On Facebook, we're / Marvel News Show. On Twitter, we're at Marvel News PTN. That's our show this week. Thank you so much for joining.
Bye. I don't know which camera to look at.
Oh my
That was long.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Kristian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.
All right, hey. All right, good job, guys. Let's just not come in tomorrow. Let's just take a day.